So, last time we had a big battle, and you guys didn't die, and that was good. And you took care of the Sahuagin revenge attack that happened. A baron with 2 priestesses and a bunch of underlings and a whole swarm of just like hangers-on that were loitering below the ship, waiting to see what happened. There were sharks patrolling the waters. Lance had a run-in with one of those. And before the battle, you guys sort of laid out some of the stuff that you were doing on your voyage. There's about 16 days left before you get to Imidori. Lofty and Jamie are making their cloak, another cloak of protection, duplicating the one that you found.
That's right.
And yeah, we're just picking up right after the battle. So there's the bodies of Sahuagin loitering, littered across the deck, and various pieces of different people. One or two of the pirates have met their end, but overall, casualties on the ship side pretty low.
Awesome. Is the guy that I dived after from the ship still alive?
He's alive. He's doing okay.
Oh, nice.
He's
That's
managing.
good.
Managing.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, I mean, this is immediately after the battle. Polonius is still stood over the corpse. There's blood dripping from his great sword. His great axe lies on the floor beside him.
I'm standing right next to him, right? Because I killed the.
Yes, I believe so.
last
In
one.
fact, actually, the map is still intact,
Ooh.
so we can just go look at that. So that is where everybody is. So you're on the opposite side of the priestess's body from him,
Yep.
and the Sahuagin lying away. The spiritual weapon of Michelangelo is just fading away.
I kind of kick the corpse of the priestess and say, I hate those things. God. Ugh.
Yeah, filthy animalistic. Attacking. Taking whatever they can. Reminds me of some people I know.
I give him like a hard stare. Like, really?
Can I look around to see who's injured? Like who's down?
There's nobody that you can see. It appears that the one or two people. Dankeschön. The one or two people that appear to be missing, as the crew takes a quick check, they find that the two probably went overboard, and there's not much you could do. There was a lot of sharks in the water, you know. You've been making headway while the battle's been going on as well, but obviously there's still sort of loiterers circling the ship, but they don't appear to be making any aggressive actions right now.
Can we loot the bodies?
Sure. Make an investigation check.
Nice thinking.
Does anybody want to help? Give advantage? Or make a separate check?
I'll like make a separate check. Yeah.
Uh,
Good at that.
Anyone else want to check over the bodies?
Sure.
Okay.
Who's good at that? No?
I'm not here, right?
You're at the other end of the ship, so you can join the group easily. You,
I coughed.
I got a 14 investigation, by the way.
Polonius really tickles my throat. So Nephilim, at your end of the boat, you were fighting against two large Sahuagin, one significantly larger than the other, both with 4 arms. You also had several 2-armed Sahuagin with spears and tridents attacking you from all sides, but you and Jamie and Mara were able to, you, Bjorn and Mara were able to fend off the attack fairly well. Polonius was there alongside you, and also fending off this threat, and forced the largest one to run, and chased it down. You don't know what happened after that. At which point one of the priestesses also, the other 4-armed Sahuagin followed the Baron, leaving you to just sort of clean up duty with the 2-armed ones that were there. And shortly afterwards, the sounds of battle ceased. So you conducted yourself admirably. You did okay. It was a solid, average, 50% performance.
It's always my goal.
So, what did you get for your investigation check?
14.
14. Was anybody else checking the bodies?
I rolled. I
Yep.
got a 17.
Okay. So, looking over the bodies, you don't find much in the way of coinage. There's maybe a total of 2 gold across all of the bodies. You do, however, find some intricate jewelry and sort of like charm trophy accoutrement on some of the Sahuagins' sort of rough and ready, almost coral-like armor.
Ooh.
You don't know if there's any value in them, but you can add 15 assorted Sahuagin decorations, I guess. And you also find around the neck of the largest one, the one that was bisected by Polonius, you find there's a severed necklace, just a rough sort of almost like leathery thong that's looped through a little. It's kind of hard to describe. It's like somebody mounted something that they found in a little like holder clamp type thing, so that they could then loop this like string through it and have that around their neck. And you also
So it's
find
like
that.
a little leather bag?
No, it's more of like a frame, I guess.
Oh, okay. So what's in it?
That's an excellent question. It's a strange material. Looks stone, but is almost pliant like flesh. Has a sort of brownish granity look to it, and you touch it expecting it to feel rough, but it's that kind of like pliant texture, almost like skin, but stonier. And it's not neat at all. It's very jagged around all the edges.
Who's the best healer from all of us? Michelangelo, probably, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's the one who healed me 1,000 times when I more or less died. So I go over to Michelangelo and I'm like, I think it's skin. It's disgusting. But like, can you take a look at it? Because I don't want to touch it again.
Sure. Can I investigate it? Like, how do I go about this?
Okay, let me think about what this would be for a second.
Because it sounds gross. And yeah.
Lick it.
Oh yeah, that's
Nephilim,
cook it up.
you should probably level yourself up to level 5.
Yeah, I haven't added any of my new spells, so I'm gonna have to think about that while we're on.
Well, you wouldn't be able to prepare them until you finish a long rest anyway. So
Okay.
So it's irrelevant until you rest. You can do it then. All right, let me think about this. Roll. I'll let you use medicine for this. Roll a medicine check. In fact, I'll let you have advantage because you're also proficient in history.
Cool. I'm rolling. That's 6 advantage. Come on, give me something better. Wow, are you serious? I rolled a 9.
You rolled a 9. A 9 was your
no.
total. So you rolled a 3 at advantage.
Yeah, the second roll was a 9. The first one was 6.
Sorry. So with your modifier, that's a...
Wait, you say it was
Medicine.
medicine. Oh wow, +6. It's actually pretty decent. So
15.
yeah.
15. All right, 15.
Damn.
So, with your background being an artisan, a sculptor, somebody who molds stone to the vision of your imagination and of your observation of the world around you, you know stone pretty well, and given how widely you've sort of gotten around, you've seen a lot of different kinds of stone. You have seen stone like this before, but it was an artifact, a very rare artifact, an extremely powerful magical item that the priests of Torg had, the Torg, the god of forges, had in North Torpen, and you saw it in the dwarven city in North Torpen, the name of which is rapidly escaping me. So let me just pull up my map while I check.
You see, Torg, the god of forges, and it was located at.
It was in Acapolis.
In Acapolis.
Yeah.
Cool. It seems relevant.
Yeah.
Relevant.
So you've never seen anything like this at all, except for one time where it was a much larger, I would say as well. This is maybe a 10th, and looks like a piece of, because it's all broken around the edges. But yeah, it was part of a very, very powerful magical item.
Okay. Can I hold on to it? You can research it more.
You'll have to ask Lance. She found it.
Yeah, like I don't want it. It's weird.
Cool. Thanks. I'm gonna take this.
Okay, cool. So you have, and you do remember the name of the magical artifact. It was referred to as the scale.
Okay.
So you mark down a piece of scale.
Cool. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Whilst this is happening, Rovan's gonna go around to any bodies, just take a moment.
Yeah, sure, you can do that.
Yeah.
You'll have to hurry. The crew are rapidly throwing them overboard once it's clear there's nothing valuable on them.
Okay. But yeah. Commend them to the next stage of life.
Yeah, of course. So, with that then, it becomes a quieter time as everyone, recovers. The adrenaline shakes. A couple of the crew are talking rapidly, just to sort of get their energy out. And it kind of feels pretty good, as far as you can sort of pick up attacks like this. usually end pretty much the same way with Polonius, like decisively ending a fight, which is one of the reasons that, you know, he was able to hold his own with Derek in charge. Even Derek wasn't going to try something on that guy after seeing what he could do.
I like him a lot better now.
Yeah. Yeah, you
he's
haven't seen
evolved.
anybody change so fluidly between a great sword and a great axe, and his improvisational fighting style really did impress you. The guy knows his shit and is very clearly in command of any melee that he's involved in.
Also,
And
it's
you're
just
kind of
so
glad you didn't try to
handy.
fight him.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's also just so handy to just like the vanishing greatsword.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing. That means you can, you know, fit through all the doors. And if you need it, whoosh, there it is. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, you've never seen the
Ooh,
great sword.
there it is.
You've never seen the great sword before, either. It must have been in his cabin the whole time, or hidden somewhere else on the ship. I mean, it's not small. Like, you know, it's not something you can easily tuck into a corner and nobody will notice. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it could have been anywhere. I mean, as far as you could tell, it teleported to his hand when he left it behind when chasing down the priestess.
Can I go talk to him?
Sure. He's sat at the back of the ship with Malika.
Hey guys.
Hello. All right.
Yeah. Ish.
Gotta
Almost
say,
died there.
now I've seen
Yeah.
you in action, I can believe all the stories you've been telling us. It's pretty impressive, really.
Thank you. I'm really impressed by this guy though, with his vanishing greatsword. How did you do that?
Just a little trick I picked up.
Can you teach me? Cause like I got this big trident and I can't fit through all the doors and it's really annoying and like.
Do you have 15 years?
Fuck! Why does it take so long? I mean, yes, I hope I still have 15 years left. But
I
like,
made a sword teleport to my hand, and you're asking why it takes so long.
I can shoot lightning out of my body. Took me like 2.5 seconds to learn that.
That's shocking.
Another pun to start the
hate
session.
Honestly.
Just checks out.
Malika cracks up as well.
Awesome. So you're like a wizard or a sorcerer or something, or like you fight way too well to be just like an arcane dude.
Do I look like an arcane dude?
Well, you didn't before, but now you're vanishing swords. Like, I don't know.
Many things are powerful in this world. Some you find, some find you, some you learn, and some are taught.
Can I like buy in and just be like, well, which one are you? With
He
the
just like this little half smile at you.
cheeky bastard.
You could insight check him if you wanted, Michelangelo.
Sure, why not?
See if you can from his list which one seemed like the one that fitted him.
I rolled a 14.
14.
Plus your insight.
Oh, plus 6, so a day 20.
Wow. You really got to remember to be adding these plus sixes. Don't you?
Yeah.
Good.
All right, so he as he's listing those off, you really pick up the learned part. It seems that whatever it is he does, he learned it himself. But there's an element of finding in there as well, because he listed found, you find it, it finds you, you learn, or are taught, and finding and learning are the two that really he really seems to I don't know what the word is, like animate a little bit more in the micro expressions, something that you'd pick up with your general perceptive nature.
Okay. Can I like pat him on the back and say,
Yeah, you can reach over, like down and over, and just.
I want to just give him like a light pat on the back and be
Sure.
like,
Yeah.
ha, 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 I like you.
I like you too, big man. Pretty clutch in a fight.
The tension's killing me.
The tension's killing you. What kind of tension do you think it is?
Mate, I don't know, man. Michelangelo to like someone other than himself is pretty big.
He's
Yeah,
right.
you could cut this sexual tension with a dildo.
A vanishing one.
Vanishing one.
Oh god!
Yeah.
I died. I think I just died.
Well,
God, why?
so
Cool. I don't have 15 years. I think I want to do other too. So, but thanks for, the offer.
my pleasure. I don't really want to spend 15 years teaching you.
Yeah. Hey, wait.
I have better things to be doing.
Like Michelangelo.
Same.
What about you? What are you planning on doing once we get into Aimadori?
Was that to me or to
It's
Michelangelo?
just to the group.
Yeah.
Just to whoever of you are there. What? You seem to work pretty well together.
Yeah. I think so too. I don't know. I think Michelangelo's gotta be somewhere, and I think we just tag along for now. Sorry.
I'm not sure if Lofty's waiting to say something or if he's just like gesturing as Michelangelo would be while he just,
We gotta go deliver the statue.
Oh, I thought that might be a reason you dragged it on board my ship.
Yep.
It is. I mean, like, what
So
are we
that's it?
supposed to say? Yeah.
No aspirations. Deliver a statue. See what happens.
Pretty much.
Like
Kinda.
Pirates of the Land. I love it. That's freedom. Not being beholden to something. Making
Yeah.
your own way.
Like Fleetwood Mac.
I've never thought about this with land before. Only had that in the sea.
Land
before.
pirates. Yep.
Yeah.
That's what we are. Freelancers.
I don't like being pirates. Like, let's be nice people.
Well,
though.
there's only one. We're not freelancers.
You want to be nice people.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
That's
Why
a
not?
good aspiration to have. But how do you feel about the way the world is?
I've kind of been on the sea most of the time, so I don't have the best idea how the world is. I just know the port cities, and I like the taverns.
I feel like this is where Nephilim would like say something. I'm just gonna glance at you.
I don't like how the world is. That's all I'm gonna say about it.
There's no justice to be found, is there?
Not in my experience.
Mine either. The only justice we have is what we make. Taking laws from those who dispose of us as soon as our use is expended. Look around you. No one here chose this life. They fell into it. They were pushed into it.
Ooh. Deep.
Those that have take more. And those that don't have, they either give in the hope that no more will be asked, or they die. Everyone forgets what are laws for? Protection? Whose protection? I don't see the laws protecting people like you and I. I don't see laws that cater to the problems that people face on roads and the oceans. The only laws that apply to the poor folk are the ones that take from them. You think the elves in Aral Sera give a shit about a bunch of halflings and humans on a boat? You think they care of anything other than their precious culture and arts? Oh, but they do. Everyone forgets that behind all that culture and art, that fine elvish society, there's a military machine that plows through anything and everything in its way. I've seen it. All at the whim of whichever elf happens to be in favour with the court this week. Do you think that's fair? Do you think you can be good people in that kind of society?
I think we can be good people on the road.
And what does that mean?
I don't care about the elvish society.
You're gonna be moving around in it. The whole continent's
Yeah.
fucking full of elves.
I...
Are you like half elf or something?
Yeah. I am.
Elf
And
adjacent.
we got Rovan over here.
Elf adjacent, but yeah. But not land elf. But yeah.
He's a pure breed. Oh boy, this has added a whole new level of tension, racial tension to our group. I guess for myself, I don't really care about the rules of this society. I just know that I want to make the best statues ever and eventually make my way to being one with the Lord Semka. So with that in favor, I don't give a shit.
Honesty. I like it. I like it a lot. That's freedom as well. Freedom from yourself. Not hiding behind the lies that you tell yourself. Being honest about who you are, what you want to do. You know what I want to do? I want to make things change. I don't know how to do it. But I want to do something. Show that while we may all live shorter fucking lives than elves, we're still worth something. We still have value. Now, Polonius, you know, as well as I, that prejudice is common among elves, or at least the impression of it through the lack of attention they pay to non-elves. But what are you talking about? You're our captain. In time, we'll find out if you're a good one. But whether you are or not, you're our one. Don't start getting ideas bigger than this ship. You're no Gulgrim Pistleton. You aren't gonna lead us all into a glorious new age of equality for all. Because we are not equals to them. Our lives are no longer to them than a dog is to a human. If I don't get stabbed or scurvy or drowned or any one of the other dangers that might befall someone on the sea, I might hit a century and a half. They hit 6 centuries. I can't even imagine what it'd be like if I had an elven friend and I'm an half elf. Watching them remain the same as I fade away. For them, able to see the degeneration and live in another 3 centuries with only the memory of their friend. All of us have lost someone, I'm sure. What about you, Polonius? Do you grieve for someone? And you do see Polonius nods. But he doesn't look very happy about this impromptu lecture that he's receiving. Has that feeling lessened over time? Can you imagine feeling that for another 4 lifespans?
Hmm.
Polonius slams back his drink and stands up. And he looks at all of you, but his gaze kind of lingers on Lance. Think about it. Think about what the right people in the right place at a right lucky fucking time might be able to do. And he walks off down the steps and makes that little 180 turn and goes into his cabin. Now, don't you mind Polonius, he's a grumpy bastard.
That was interesting.
He's kind of right, though. I mean, he has a point.
If you guys,
Yeah, well, that's the problem with Polonius, he usually does have a point.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming he believes he's the right man, the right person at the right time.
Were you listening to the conversation?
But he wants to make a change. but
Well,
he
I mean,
doesn't know
if
how
Rovan
to.
was near enough to hear, you can make an insight check.
Sure,
Make an insight
go
check.
for it.
With your big elvish ears.
Put your elvish
Rovan,
ears
what's in
here,
your
Rovan.
Lovely, an 8.
An 8.
Plus?
Do you have?
No, that a 3
Oh,
plus 5.
Oh, wow.
Worked really well last time with the plus 6. I
Man,
thought.
that second stat wisdom class, man. So, from Polonius's general demeanor, even with an 8, it's very obvious he believes everything that he's saying. You don't get any indication whether he thinks he's the right person or not. He could have meant one of you guys, could have meant somebody unknown to anybody. There's no... You don't get any read on his intention, but you do feel like these are more than just words. You all pick up on that, to be honest. You're all of your passive insights is better than 8. In fact, actually, what is your passive insight? It's like a 15, right? Rovan?
Yeah.
Okay, well, the way I rule passives is that they're like a minimum. So with like perception and insight and investigation to some extent, depending on the circumstances, it's kind of hard to roll below your passive. There's like what you, unless you're like stunned or under some other kind of condition. I'd like to rule those as a minimum. So given that it was a 15, you get the impression that Polonius is looking for the right people.
I think I could explain to you guys a little bit of my backstory and what I'm actually trying to do, because I think it's very relevant right now. If you guys want to come away from, I can't remember the name of the guy that was with Polonius.
Malika.
Yeah.
Oh, what? No worries. I know when I'm not wanted. I'll leave you guys to it. You got a lot to chat about, I'm sure. Polonius is always going around putting ideas in people's heads. I'll just go and check on, you know, stuff. Stuff.
Thank you. So, I forgot how to get access to it, but I'll try and explain as much as I can. Basically, I'm a part of, let me read it out. So I'm a part of this core group called the Shadol, and our aim is to overthrow the powers that be. I can't describe too much. I can't go into too much detail with you guys, obviously, because it's quite under wraps. But I've grown to know I can trust you guys for the most part. There are plans in place that align with exactly what Polonius was saying, and I think you guys would be perfect if you wanted to join in this. I know you guys said you had other wants and needs for the world, but I think you guys would be perfect to help me with this. And realistically, we could make a change, and that's the exact reason why I've been traveling. So, if you guys are down,
Interesting.
Who do you want to overthrow? The elves?
yeah.
Can you explain to me? Like, I've not been on the land for quite some time. What exactly is happening? Why are they perceived as so bad?
It's
Okay, so I'll jump in and give you guys some like world background here.
thank you.
A lesson in history.
Elves make up about 40% of the population of Troll. Of that 40%, maybe 5% hang around cities or places civilized, and so essentially 95% of Elvish population never has contact with non-Elvish races, or extremely rarely. They mostly live in the forests and woods of the various continents, mostly Emeria. That's where a huge percentage of the elves are. And they generally keep to themselves, largely for the reasons that Malakar described. As a half-elf, he has good insight into it. That elves find it difficult to form lasting relationships with people of other races because they just fucking die. And it's like, sure, you get attached to a dog, and it's kind of sad when they go, and you occasionally remember them fondly, but ultimately, how much impact does that dog have on your life? Like, maybe quite a lot for a short period, but then after that, it's like, well, you potentially get a new dog. And it seems, people aren't dogs, and treating them that way seems wrong. So generally, elves don't spend too much time. Arelsera is the capital of the Elvish nation, just the Elvish race, as it were. They're contiguous but infighty. So, but they do pull as one when there's need to. Imadore is the magical capital of Elvish kind. The elves, given that there's more of them and they live longer than other people, generally make the best magical stuff and have the most magical power. Just purely because of the benefits of accumulated experience and the way that elves experience life. And that is to offset the power of Arelsera. So there's a lot of military power in Arelsera. It's very well known that when there's something like, let's say hobgoblins invade, the Elvish war machine goes to work very rapidly and kind of just bulldozes through and isn't that worried about, the towns and dwellings of races that, as far as they're concerned, there's probably was, it's kind of a transitory thing for them. Like, you don't care that much about if you accidentally run over an anthill when you're mowing your lawn. Which isn't to say that elves are unfeeling or anything like that. It's just that from an institutional viewpoint, it's all statistical at that point, right? It's like, oh no, this town got destroyed in the course of us having a miniature war with some hobgoblins, and oh well. I mean, it was only built 200 years ago, and it was probably going to fall down in 100 years, so who cares? It's kind of their view.
Wow, that sucks.
Yeah. And that presence is most felt in Emeria, which is the continent that you're sailing to. North and South Torpen, much stronger dwarf representation, kind of keeps the elves in check a little bit, because dwarves can at least compete on the whole lifespan thing. They get to 400 or 500 years, which isn't 600-700, but it's and that's why dwarves and elves are always going to be both rivals and more able to understand each other.
Okay, so what is the plan to overthrow them? I mean, I understand that the collateral damage sucks, but what are you planning to do? You can't just kind of take all of them and throw them somewhere else or something, like they live here.
No, that's obviously not the idea. like I said, it's a very underground thing right now,
Mhm.
and we're slowly moving to positions of power, um, whilst undercover, which is why it has to be very quiet and kept quiet. Um, we just want to make a change, and yeah, it's if you want to see a change in the world you want to live in, then why would you not be an active part of that? Why would you just be a bystander and let the powers that be rule what your life is? Polonius was talking about freedom, and this is the way that we can achieve that.
Hmm. I got a question. Is Rovan of the same nature? Like, will he live to like generation 6, 7?
Yeah,
Is he that type of elf?
he's a wood elf. Yeah, he'll live to 700 if nothing kills him.
I want to know his opinion on this.
You should probably ask him his age first.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. A good point. Is that actually though? How relevant is that? I guess that would be relevant depending on how many generations in he is. The deeper his experience of this subject would be. I also need to like. I turn and like I'm thinking, and I'm like, wait, how much does my character actually care about any of this? You know?
Well, the question is like, you might not care, but you might still be curious, and you've got nothing better to do other than going back and work on that cloak. So
You trust me?
remember, there's an
Yeah.
element of procrastination as well.
At
Mm,
least while we're on the ship.
yeah, at least while we're waiting. Rovan,
Yes.
old/young chap. Who knows? How old are you, my friend?
Hmm,
Put you on the spot.
around 329 by your timekeeping, I believe.
So he's like the later
Mid-aged
life of a was it
dwarf,
dwarf? Yeah,
the middle-aged.
yeah. He's middle-aged for an elf. He's old age for a dwarf. He's 3 generations above a human.
Have you had a midlife crisis yet? Have you bought a Mercedes?
I think that's maybe actually
Why do you think I'm-
100 years later, because elves reach maturity about 120 years, I think, right?
About 100 to 120. It's kind of loose. It depends on. I mean, they're physically mature at like 50 onwards. But and then they kind of stay the same for 500, 600 years.
Does that mean their period of puberty like lasts like 3 years or something, like a long time? Like, I talk like this for 5 years.
No. So they kind of. So like physically, they achieve their kind of same size as humans. Pretty quickly, kind of in the same time that humans do. But then there's like a longer period of them like filling out. You know how like you can hit 18, but you still look way different to what you're going to look like when you're 25. Like that period just takes like 5 decades.
Ah, that's great.
Imagine trying to grow facial hair in that period.
Yeah.
You're like finally waiting for your beard to connect. Anyway,
Well, they
It
don't
comes
grow.
out at year
They don't grow
500.
facial hair, so
oh,
Good for them.
elves have very little body hair. They're almost completely shaved.
okay.
Imagine that.
Well,
You
not
get to
shaved,
age
just hair.
50
Yeah.
and you're still emotionally underdeveloped.
Oh, they're emotionally underdeveloped for elves.
Right. I don't know. I
They're
can
still on par with like a 50-year-old human, but the average elf is a little bit more emotionally mature than the average 50-year-old human.
Okay.
They have to be because they deal with people that they're going to know for 500 years.
All right.
Elvish society is like a lot of rules about politeness and stuff so that they don't fucking kill each other. Because a feud would go back and forth for a really long time.
Right.
So yeah, that's they lean towards political machinations more than like aggressive acts, and they don't see the point in stuff like theft as well. You know, like what's the point of stealing something when you can just like invest $1 and then come back in 100 years and recoup your benefits, like, or like that, like just buying something doesn't have a huge amount of meaning to a lot of elves. Unless it's like a crafted thing, something unique, something that they can't otherwise get. For a lot of like standard stuff, like they'll see more worth in making it themselves or finding another way to do without. Because they have it's time to invest. There's a lot of hobbyists, a lot of D&D players in the Elvish race. They got to fill the time somehow.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of like a general overview of elves in general. They're like considered emotionally mature for elves at like around 100 to 120. I don't know how much the details any of you would be aware of that, other than Rovan. Rovan, you'd be very aware of it.
Is that the same for the sea elves?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I think their lifespan's slightly kind of different because they're just different adaptations and whatnot. I don't think it would be quite as long, but I haven't read up on it recently, so who knows?
Okay. So like, kinda ish, no, ish.
Yeah, I
Ish.
mean,
Okay.
everything's different underwater, as you're well aware.
Yeah.
Like society functions entirely differently.
Yeah, but lifespans.
Underwater, there's an
of-
abundance
yeah.
of resources, which solves a lot of problems that other people have.
It's true.
Since we live in a world where there isn't like shit tons of chemical pollution.
And overfishing.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
You
But
wish to
at least the
overthrow.
lifespan thing is probably like kind of.
Yeah,
the
it's probably
same-ish.
around the same. Yeah.
So you wish to overthrow the current order of things with the elves, when there's thousands of years of history that will be remembered by individuals. It won't just happen by changing a few figureheads. How do you intend to actually go about this?
Like I said, it's like an inside infiltration. It's not just like electing a new government. The powers. There is a long plan, and I'll be happy to explain it throughout our journey. But now I think you just have to trust me that it's not as simple as I'm making it out to be. I just can't go into the intricacies right now.
And the elves won't just wait for you to die.
Oh, that's brutal.
That's a good
That's
point.
actually
It's
though.
a really
Yeah.
good point.
I've seen that before, actually. Definitely. Yeah.
Well, I'm not one of the people infiltrating the inside of the government body.
So that means they would be elves as well.
And have you got elves on your side? I'm assuming you have, otherwise
Pretty hard
this
to
isn't
be
going to go very
inside.
far.
Make a perception check, Rovan.
Mm. 17.
17. So, as you're talking, and with the context of the subjects at hand, the tension between species, the ultimate differences between societies, and you're looking at this human in front of you, and you're thinking, like, what do they know? And then you're looking, and you're realizing that you've been assuming, because you haven't really thought about it, the Nephilim is a human, but is your elvish eyes see a few more details, and make a history check for me, because you've seen something. Now, do you know what you've seen?
Interesting.
18.
18. Yeah, this is an Asimar. There's celestial blood in this one.
Oh, that's busted.
Much like Shelley is much like Lance is the product of a relationship between sea elves and between a sea elf and a human. This is the product of a celestial and a human, and that adds a lot of credibility. That realization that it's actually this might not be as simple as you were assuming either, because an Asimar being involved in something like this implies a higher power, shall we say?
Okay.
So,
Mm.
what would you guys like to do? Is there more conversation to be had, or should we skip
I-
forward time-wise?
Wait, I want to turn to Michelangelo. Remember when we were on the beach? I said to you, like, you need to trust me. I said I got you back, and you got mine. I need you to have mine with this. Can I do a persuasion check, actually? Or
Well, I mean, does Michelangelo just respond to that?
I feel like he's gonna be like, "Fuck you!" That's what he's gonna do.
Can I make an
Uh-huh.
insight check actually while he's saying that?
Oh, into Nephilim?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Oh god, I'm in the hot seat.
And Michelangelo, how do you respond?
So we got like 15 days or something, right?
Hmm.
It's time to think about it. Once again, I'm not sure how much I care as
course.
Michelangelo. So
Yeah,
it's like
absolutely.
I need to.
But do
figure
you
that
feel a
out.
bond of brotherhood? You know, does Michelangelo engage with that, or is he aloof of it?
I mean, like I did until I punched him, and then
That was the first thing I was thinking about. Like, you have to trust me. I trusted you, and then I punched you in the face. What? And you tried
It's
to
like,
kill
I
me.
trusted
I got
you.
a 13 actually. So.
and then you tried to kill me. So it's like,
Yeah,
should I
but
trust you again?
we
I'm
realized
just gonna
why.
be yeah, we understand
Look at
why.
how we understand why it wasn't me actually trying to kill you.
So Nephilim against
Mm.
Shelley's insight check there.
Uh huh.
I would like you to pick either persuasion or deception, roll, and DM me what you get.
Oh boy.
You can use the Roll20 screen, and you can do /GM roll so that you can roll it and it goes directly to me. And then just DM me the skill.
Slash GM
Roll
Roll.
1d20.
1d20.
So,
It
persuasion
says
for the
unrecognized
truth
command. I'm just gonna use
and
the.
deception for fucking with us, right?
Did you put a space in between the GM roll and the 1d20?
I'm just gonna DM it to you. I already did it.
Oh, okay, cool. Even better. Nah.
It's gonna be like 24.
Seems legit.
Okay.
So Michelangelo.
Mhm.
Do you respond, Michelangelo? Or would you just let it fall into the silence of awkward conversation?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm just like, I ain't got
Sure.
anything better to do anyway.
Trust me
Um,
when I say it'll benefit you in the long run, and I'll explain all about that.
All right, I trust you.
Thank you.
Anybody have anything else? Any other little scenes they want to put forward?
I'll trust you for now, having seen what I'd seen. Yeah. I'll just get on with my day.
Listen, it's more to learn here.
I think I should explain this to Polonius.
Oh, all right then. You gonna go find Polonius
I think so.
alone?
I think so.
Okay. All right. So he's in his cabin. Knock on the door. It swings open. Polonius has stood there. Ah, Nephilim. What can I do for you?
Do you know about the Shadol?
Perhaps we should have this conversation with the door shut. And he takes you into the cabin, and you and I will have a DM conversation about that, unless you were planning on making immediate plans on the back of this conversation.
No, we have a DM conversation.
Okay, cool. We'll do that at some point over the
Interesting.
weekend, and I've got a
Sorry.
free minute.
World building.
No,
Story.
Can you
Stuff.
just very quickly tell me the name of the group again and how to fucking spell it?
I'll write it in the thing.
SHADDOLL.
Great.
Very interesting.
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
All right.
I wanna before we do anything else, like on the same day or maybe the next day, I wanna find again.
You want to find who?
Malika.
Ah, okay. Alright, Lawrence! How's it going? How much later did you want this to be? Like, this could be right before we get into port. We could just, like, time slip that whole journey.
Yeah, I'm happy with. right
Alright,
before.
sure. So, yeah, we're about, you guys have, let me set the scene a little bit. You guys have traversed the ocean.
Do you mind if I be right back? Like,
Yeah, of course.
You guys can carry on.
just,
but, like,
yeah, skip the description of my sweet world.
All of that important world building just out the window.
So you guys sail through the gorgeous landscape of the ocean. It's rolling, it's deep, it's blue, it's green.
Gorgeous
Yeah.
landscape of the ocean.
Hey, it's still a landscape, even though it's ocean. There's land underneath it.
Oceanscape.
Oh, ahaha.
Hey, when I look at forests, I go, hey, look, we've got a nice landscape, even though the forest is in the way of me seeing the land. Works the same way with the ocean. Boom, mic drop. Can't even argue with that one. Right, moving on.
No.
You're sailing across the waves. With days draw into more days. That draw into more days. Starts getting long. You guys go about the activities we discussed previously. You are about an hour away from Imadori, so you've already had the moment in the journey where you see the land of Amaria in the distant reaches of the horizon. You've seen it swell and grow, and these are impressive verdant forests along the coast, and that slowly fade into this rocky tundra landscape on the lower half of the continent, the southern part. On the right hand side as you're coming towards it, you're coming from the west. So then you see the land split as you get closer, and it splits and widens into this massive delta of a huge river, and we're talking like Mississippi, Amazon kind of scope river size. Like, this is the big one. It bisects the center of Ameria. It actually is fed from two different huge water sources, one significantly larger than the other. In fact, just to give you a perspective, the lake that you're traveling towards, and this is kind of like general geography stuff, you guys would either know this or not. It's like 400 miles across, the lake that's in the center of Ameria. Like, it's an inland sea, essentially. This river connects that inland sea with the ocean. So, as you're sailing forward, the land is split, and your ship goes between. and the river is so wide it's almost like you're not on a river. You know, like you can see the land on either side, but it's like there's horizons almost. And it's pretty slow moving though because of its size. And so you sail up. Your speed slows obviously on the river. You're sailing in between. There's a very interesting moment where you see these mountains rise up out of the forests, and they get bigger and bigger as you approach, and the river just sort of slots into this huge canyon that's just very, very deep, and it gets much thinner and much faster there, and it's much harder going. Sailing in a canyon with sails, tough. But you do make it through eventually. It's still wide enough that you're able to sort of tack across. But you can see when you get to the other end that there's a bunch of sailing ships tied up on the far side of the pass, and it appears that the wind. This is a wind tunnel essentially, and you just have to wait until the wind is going in the direction you want to go if you want to sail up it, kind of thing. And shortly after that, about a day after you pass through the mountains, you start to see in the distance the first spire of Imidori. So just a very high pinnacle.
We're approaching the
city, and you're
Magical Tokyo.
You're about an hour out, and Lance found Malika.
Wait, did you say it's called Midori?
Imidori.
So like Emerald.
So if you look on Roll20, you are here.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like spelled Midori like the liquor. Anyway.
Yeah, there it is. So, alright Lawrence, how's it going? Are you excited to get back on land?
Not really. I kind of.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
it's always tough for us half-bloods, isn't it? You got to pick which one. You can't always pick which one you like best.
No, I like the sea. I also like the land. I've not been for quite some time now, except for the island, But that was weird. That was a weird island. I didn't like that too much. So, anyways.
Respite's corners, little interesting, that's for sure. But what I would say is, just word of advice. Probably not my place to give it, but I'll offer it, and you can either accept it or not. It's entirely up to you. Won't be offended either way by whichever way you choose to go with what I'm about to say. But maybe just try and do a bit of both.
Okay. Yeah.
I have to say, we're gonna miss your arms. And the rest of you, but
Thanks. Yeah,
the lifting was very good, and you're tall, which is better than I'm not that strong, but I'm among the tallest, which means that all them my shelves, it's gonna be all up to me again, unless I can convince Polonius to go down in a hold and move some crates around. But you never know, things could happen. Probably not that thing, but other things perhaps.
Keep lifting that shit up, and at some point you will be as shredded as Michelangelo. So you good workout.
Honestly, I don't know whether I've got the skeleton to be able to be as shredded as Michelangelo. That is a man that I would call sculpted, but it's weird because he's almost made of stone.
Yeah, true. But you could be like almost like ish.
Sure,
Like
I
Malika,
appreciate
but-
the advice, Lance. I'll see. Maybe I'll start doing some push-ups in the morning. I don't know.
No, lifting crates is. Anyway,
Oh yeah, you wanted to talk to me about something. What's
yeah.
that?
What is your plan with the ship and for the future?
Oh well, I have been chatting to Polonius, and it seems that he wants to get around a little bit more, not do so much of the hanging around in one place preying on people thing. So I think we're going to be taking some cargo jobs and stuff, and just sort of getting around the continent. He's asked the crew that if they're happy to go to Larrick. which is not somewhere that most of us have been, but apparently that's where Polonius is from. I didn't know that, but you know, there you are. You learn something new every day. Don't really know much about Polonius, to be honest. Kind of weird having a captain you know nothing about.
What was the name of the city?
No, Larrick is the continent that's yeah, so
okay.
it's like North Torpen, South Torpen,
Amaria
then
and
Ameria, and then Larrick is the top right one on the world map.
Okay. Oh, so
Yeah,
you're
so he
gonna
said
be
that if
like
they,
a
you
cargo
know,
ship, not that much pirating, for now.
apparently, I mean, I don't know what a cargo will be, and honestly, we don't care if it's legal or not.
Yeah, I mean,
And there is
so,
a
but
shit
at
ton of
least
smuggling
no
in
more sinking
Imadori.
other ships, right? No more sinking other ships, except in self-defense.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not the captain. I don't want to be the captain. First mate, perfect for me. I can delegate in both directions. When I get to the captain, there's no one to delegate to upwards, and that's a problem for me.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be captain either.
I've gotten to where I am, Lance, by never making any decisions, and it's worked out just right. I don't want to start making decisions.
Okay. Well, have you talked to some of the
Is
crew
Lofty
from?
frozen, or is he just like very shocked at something?
I think Lofty is very shocked at something.
Mhm.
He's really
This is
in character right now.
Michelangelo. Yeah.
Really in character.
He's gone.
It's like.
Have you talked to some of the crew from the Lives Gambit? Well, I know
Well,
they
I
were
mean,
helping out. Like some of them are helping out. At
sure,
least.
yeah. I mean, Tiberius and his other half have been pretty handy, but you know, we're not that short-manned when we're not pirating, because you know, sailing a ship's pretty fucking easy. Like we're used to doing it under much worse circumstances. So just kind of going somewhere, it's like a novelty, really. It's way easier than normal.
Sure.
But you know, one day, you know, we're gonna see if any of them want to sign up, because you know some of the crew, you know, they ain't got a ship no more, and since we're not doing so much of the bit that people might not like, maybe they'll go for it. And they know Polonius can protect them, because my fucking god, did you see that sword?
Yeah.
I've seen Polonius fight I don't know how many times. Never seen that sword before. Don't know where it was. Never seen it on the ship. Honestly, it's fucking weird. I don't know where it came from. It weren't here. He never brought it on board.
Yeah.
I swear to God, Lance, I'm fucking shitting you not. Right? That sword is no longer on this ship either, unless he's got an hiding place that I don't know about,
Do
which
you
I think is
search
very
for it?
unlikely.
Do
I
you
had
search for it?
I had a little look. You know, I'd never seen it before, and it's on my ship.
Do you want to have another look? Want to look together? And see if we can find it. Don't touch it. Like leave
mean-
it where it is. I don't want to fuck with Polonius stuff, but like I
Yeah.
kind of want to see it. You know, I want to see it again.
Well, we've only got an hour. You know, we could have.
I know,
we
but
could have
an hour is plenty. Come on, the ship is not that
We
big.
could have a quick look. It's definitely not in his quarters. I've looked everywhere in there, even the stash. Not that there's
Okay.
a stash.
Let's look at the rest of the ship.
Polonius is like an anime character. He just levels up every time when no one expects him to. Brilliant.
Alright, so if you want to roll an investigation check at advantage because you have help from Malika.
The first one was a 5. The second one is at 18.
18. No sword on that ship.
Yeah, I know, but okay. Oh, damn, I really wanted to see that sword. Well, anyways, that was fun. Thanks, Malika. You know,
I mean, you're welcome. Honestly, I don't know whether it was magic or whether the sword itself does that, or, you know, if there was some kind of fucking divine intervention that I didn't, you know, expect or understand, but honestly,
maybe it's just invisible. Maybe we should have touched around more.
I've never seen Polonius do anything out of the ordinary. You know, he's fucking brutal in a fight,
Yeah.
but nothing like that. That was something else. I think he was showing off.
He said he needed 15 years to learn how to do that, whatever that means. So
Yeah, which I think is a bit weird, because you know, like,
It's 14.
well, he he's, I thought he was like late 20s. But 15 years seems like a really long time.
Does he look like late 20s? To me.
He looks like late 20s if you've spent all of that time murdering and trying not to be murdered. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, he's scarred up and he's big and imposing, and he's, how like some big men, they sort of hit that, like, they just look like they're in their 40s, but immediately, because he's bald as well, and then it's just like,
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to read. But when he says that, and you think, oh yeah, no, maybe.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, I always kind of thought he was like, yeah, late 20s, maybe. Yeah, I can see it now that you say it.
Yeah, it's weird. He's an odd one, he is. But,
Yeah.
bit of mystery about your captain ain't necessarily a bad thing. Gives you something to talk about. Every crew loves a good rumor. Keeps their minds off, other things that might be going on.
They do love chatting.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Shadowboxes.
we ain't always got a lot better to do, and I have to say the speculation has been rife over time. But honestly, everyone got a little bit bored by it because, it's just, you never get a hint, But now we've got something
Yeah.
new to talk about. It's all going to come back out again, We'll be getting the book
Yeah,
out and
yeah.
everything. See, I'm pretty sure somebody had a bet
got a
on
book?
magic. Oh yeah, absolutely. Of course we were making bets. What do you take us for? I am absolutely sure.
No, I'm really sad that I didn't get included freaking month on the ship, almost, like, right? It's like, been 20 days.
Yeah. But this was from like 2 years ago.
You still have the book, though.
Well, yeah, but
Like,
we
you
hadn't.
could've included
We hadn't
me.
even thought about it for ages, and then all of a sudden, Polonius
I'm
does something
hurt.
new, and
Hurt.
you won't believe this, Atho won 2 gold.
No.
Yeah, he had 5 silver down on there was a magic sword somewhere.
Well, we don't know if the sword is
There's-
magic.
He's such a bastard. He said, "There's always a magic sword. I'll have my money on that." And we all went, he's got an axe. Doesn't seem like a sword kind of guy, but now I've seen him with a
Did
sword. Seems
before,
like a
yeah.
sword kind of guy,
Sword-
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah,
It seems like the axe
absolutely,
was
yeah.
just more,
A little bit weird with the X now, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, we're almost there, so I just wanna take care. Okay.
Oh, it's been lovely.
The crew.
Like offer a hug, but not like force it on you.
Yeah, going for a hug. Yeah.
Right.
All right.
It's nice.
Oh, it's so wholesome.
Okay.
So,
I see this in the distance and then turn to Michelangelo and hug him.
so while Lance and Malachi were scouring the hold of the ship for every nook and cranny to see where a fucking 7-foot greatsword could be,
I'm so
the rest
happy.
of you were stood on the bow of the ship watching something unfold before you that was incredible. Now, Rovan, we haven't had a huge deal of discussion about where your backstory took place, but I'm going to assume that you haven't seen Aimodori before, but you might have heard about it, so you'll be a little bit less surprised by everything I'm about to say than the other characters. Lance, you have seen it before, which is probably why you kind of weren't that bothered.
Yeah.
Michelangelo, Nephilim, Bjorn, Jamie, Bjorn is Jamie, Bjorn, Mara, and Rovan, and quite a few of the other people who were travelling on the Life's Gambit and weren't crew on the Life's Gambit are all gathered on the bow because once this first spire of Aimodori is visible, it's huge. You can't see the city itself. You can just see this slither thin tower, and as you get closer, there's more. And these little slithers kind of come into existence as you get closer and closer. Then the river takes a little bit of a bend, and suddenly the land isn't in the way, and you can see the city laid out in a nook of the river. It nestled in where 2 rivers meet, it seems. And there are these spires that reach up. You don't know how high. 1,000 feet, 1,500 feet, 2,000 feet. They're all different heights. And they just stretch out like needles sticking out of the ground. And most of them go through the cloud, but some of them are lower. Lowering your eyes, you see that one of the spires that you can see the top of, it doesn't have anything on top of it. It's just a point. And then you slowly see out of the cloud that's spiraling just above this spire, this little oblong pod. At least it looks little, but you remember it's 2,000 feet up, so it's probably the size of a building. It just kind of lazily falls out of the cloud, and it's just kind of looks like it's loosely tethered to the spire somehow. It's just kind of airily making its way up and down, and it keeps dipping in and out of the clouds, and it comes down completely. But it always seems to be a certain distance away from the top of the spire. And then you see more of them. And then you realize that there's at least one of these pods, and in some cases, as the cloud breaks and you're able to see the top of one of the taller ones, there's appears to be 12 or 15 of these pods orbiting around the top of these spires. Lowering your eyes further, there is a giant fucking pyramid in the middle of the city. Like, we're talking, for those of us who aren't residents of Trellin or residents of Earth. Like, full-on Pyramid of Giza. Smooth stone, smooth sides, four-sided pyramid. Smack bang in the middle of the town. It's frickin' huge. And off the sloped sides of this pyramid stick more of these spires, but at angles. And there's a lot of smaller pods, like room-sized, that are just kind of orbiting around. And you see them kind of lazily making their way from spire to spire as well, kind of like the staircases in Harry Potter, There's just a constant feeling of motion. And it doesn't appear that there's ever any danger of any of them colliding. Even though there are huge clusters in some places. And you occasionally see one or two actually, like, attached to one another as well. And looking lower again. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, because I lagged out a little bit. So there's bubble-like pods that are floating around all over this place essentially, and they're motioning from different places.
Yeah, they're like
in the sky.
So think like a cable car pod, but like the size of a room, and in some cases the size of a house. So it's kind of like like the bottom half is kind of like solid with windows in it and a glass top, or if it's like one of the smaller ones, there's no windows in the lower part,
Place sounds awesome.
And most of the glass tops are coloured or opaqued in some way for, you imagine privacy, but there's very vibrant colours all around as well. Some of them are shifting in colour. It's very peacocky. And then lowering your eyes further from this giant pyramid that stands probably 800 feet tall in the center of the city. And therefore has like a huge footprint. In fact, actually, I might have to retcon the 800 foot because I worked this out based on the city. Give me a Runa. Yeah, it'd be like 400 feet tall. So, still pretty tall. Especially for
this place to exist.
Like you've never seen buildings this big ever. In fact, actually, the only person who has is Michelangelo, and he probably didn't get the scope of it because it was underground, so you couldn't sort of see all of it. You could travel within it and get a feeling that it was big, but you couldn't put it into perspective. And as you look lower again, you see what appears to be an ordinary city. It's almost like there are two cities, or two cities with this adjoining centerpiece of this pyramid reaching up into the sky. It's fucking incredible. Like, you just stood there for an hour, like, just watching. Like, every time you get a little bit closer and something comes into focus, something like the haze closes a little bit or the clouds open up a little bit, there's just something else that's just astonishing about it. And as you're coming into the city's port, you're coming up. There's these two rivers that meet, both coming in your direction. And on the right-hand path that heads south, there's a spire sticking out of it. That's very, very tall, very, very tall. This was the first one you saw, so it was both the closest to you and also it appears the tallest, but it's kind of hard to tell because it's a little bit cloudy. On a clear day, you might be able to get a better idea. But you also suspect that maybe you just need to be in one of these pods to have any clue how high any of this is in relation to one of another. And then you sail into the port, and you moor up. This is the port just here. I am pinging.
Mhm.
Ding, ding.
Ping, ping. And you moor up, and you offset yourselves, and you're just next to the bridge that goes across the river into the town. You gather your things. Michelangelo, you have a huge fucking statue. What are you going to do about that?
Yeah, I'm thinking. I gotta carry it on something. I gotta put it on something. I don't know.
I mean, we're in the town city parts, right? So there's probably like some carriages that something to get stuff on and off the boats with from probably some other places. So maybe we can
Borrow
buy
one?
one of those from
You want to buy a cart?
Okay.
for
buy
the
it
statue,
and-
maybe.
You could try and buy a cart. If you have a quick chat with
Let's
Malachar,
buy-
he's
buy
more
a
than happy to
cart.
hold on to the statue for you. He says that they'll be in port for 2 days. And he also says that that Polonius said to tell you that you're welcome to rejoin. You haven't really spoken to Polonius since he had his outburst. Unless any of you tried to, but nobody said they did, so. Except for Nephilim, and that conversation is between him and Polonius.
Well,
Nope.
where is the place that you have to deliver?
Would you like me to show you?
Yes, please.
Yep.
Okay, so you guys are here in Imadori.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the village that the statue needs to go to is about here.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Oh god, that's like
Oh jeez. That's
miles.
that's pretty far.
Yeah, it's quite far.
Oh shit.
Yo, is there any magic that can shrink the statue?
You want to try and find out?
Yeah.
You would need to go and speak to people. I mean, you definitely know there's magic that shrinks and increases the size of things, but you would need to
I've
go
learned
and like find somebody to do that for you.
Theoretically, if we asked
see.
Polonius, could he do the vanishing thing onto the statue? Or is that just a skill that he's...
Can I pocket it in another dimension?
Pocket dimension, yeah, but
Yeah, I mean, there's many
work with
ways
stuff
that
that's
you could
bigger.
do this, but it's gonna.
thing is we also have to get it back when we're in the village. So how do we do that then?
You're gonna have to figure it out. You're in the magical capital of the world.
Tell you what if we leave the statue on the ship with Malachi?
Malachar? Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll go ask around and see if we can figure out a way to get this done.
You got 2 days, otherwise we'll just leave it in there and you'll have to catch up.
Okay. Any plan where you're going next? Can talk.
Yeah, we're gonna head up to Karastri and then Trunkalv. We're on a bit of a recruitment drive. Some of the crew don't want to go to Larrick, so we're gonna be running short-handed for a bit.
Wait, why don't we... You're going up to Karastri, is that the one at the top, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't we just go from there to wherever Michelangelo needs to go? Isn't that a lot easier?
It's up to you guys.
Because,
That definitely sounds a lot easier.
yeah,
But we could look here we've got 2 days to at least find out if we can find some magic that could help us.
Well, even from there, it's gonna be like is it like kind of here, right? Like 7 or 800 miles.
After Karastri, he said Trunkalf.
Oh, did he? Okay. Well, we could join on the ship for a little bit, maybe, or
I mean, if we go to
we ask
Trunkalf,
around if
then
they
we're-
have some teleportation circles, maybe. Because like if this it's all of them are elvish cities, right? At least with an elvish population. Because of this here is the like where we are right now is the capital, the magic capital Stuffy, and Trunkalf northeast is also a bigger elvish city. Maybe they have some kind of teleportation in between that's not just ships. But maybe like something faster or more direct.
I mean, if anything, we can stay with them until Trunkalf because it's just the shortest distance to where we have to deliver it. But magical capital of Ameria sounds like a lot of fun.
Oh yeah,
Look around.
definitely. Well, let's leave it on the ship for now. Maybe
Yeah.
get an
We'll
idea.
just make a focus
what the
seeing
plan
if we
is.
can find magic to make it easier. Yeah, that definitely sounds like the play. Magic that makes it easiest will make it easier, you know?
Yeah, magic would make it easier. Probably. All right. Well, first of all, do I remember the best tavern in town?
You know what? That sounds exactly what I want to do right now too.
So, you haven't been there, but you've always heard rumors of a place called the Magician's Hat.
Oh.
It is a beach bar.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah. It's a beach bar.
It is. But you've never been there, and you have no idea where it is.
We can ask around.
Sure can. It's got this, You heard about it in the same way that people in the 30s heard about speakeasies.
Oh, yeah.
You know? It's like
Yeah.
you go in to the right shop and knock on the right part of the wall and suddenly you're in a bar. That's basically what the Magician's Hat is.
Awesome.
So,
Okay. So, do they have like a oh my
Can I make a
god,
history check?
English words?
About
Yeah,
the
you-
magician.
yeah, you can make a history check about the Magician's Hat, sure.
This is one of those, even if I get a 20, you're like, yeah, you know nothing. What's history, or is it, yeah, so I'm flat 16.
Flat 16. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a bar. You haven't been to Imadori before, and like random taverns across the world, you know. You've heard of a lot of interesting taverns. There's the Never Leavin',
Sounds like mine.
which is quite a
The Never
famous one.
Leavin'.
The Never Leavin', yeah. Apparently that one's cursed. Magician's Hat, I mean, it's an
That
item
sounds
of
like Hotel
clothing.
California.
Common choice for a pub name. It's a magical city. I mean, you feel it's kind of derivative, but so, what do you guys want to do?
I want to find like the harbor master or someone who works for him, like someone who works at the docks.
All right, sure. You find dock worker A.
Awesome. Hey, dude. What's
No,
up?
no, no,
We
no.
just-
A. It's A.
Oh. Hey, dude.
Yeah, that's it. I'm A. How's it going?
Oh, hey. Hey. Hey, hey.
Hi.
We just
Glad we got
came
that out of the
into
way.
Port. Yeah, I'm Lance. Right, so we just came into port and
Uh-huh.
we heard about like a real cool bar, something with like something on top. I'm not sure, like some kind of cap thing in the name. Do you know anything about it? Like apparently it's really good. We kind of want to go.
No, I can't say I have.
No, it's like something sorceress.
Don't ring a bell to me. I'll tell you
Magician's
what, though.
hat. That's that was.
The magician's hat? Nah, that's a rumor. Don't exist.
Right. Can I make an inside check?
Yeah, sure.
I actually really get annoyed every time he's like, yeah, sure, because you know it's just one of those pointless rolls.
Yeah.
It's just so annoying. It's like,
19.
He's pretty sure it's a rumor.
Yeah.
It's like it's just an urban myth, you know. Like that's how he's certain it's an urban myth in the same way that everybody is certain that urban myths are urban myths. Even though where do they come from then? Hello, sheeple.
Yeah. He don't buy in the conspiracy theories, right? The urban legends, whatever. Tell you
You
what,
see
though,
no
what-
tinfoil on his head. He does lean in though, and he says, "If you're looking for somewhere to drink,
yeah.
maybe by the looks of you and your giant fucking trident, holy fucking shit,
You like it? Cool, right?
and somewhere to
Yeah.
fight, I might know of a place that might interest you. No magic
Right.
allowed though.
Oh, that's
That's the
fine. I
rules,
don't
and
do
you're not allowed to
magic.
tell anybody about it. First rule of Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club, especially not Magician's Fight Club. Yin?
Yeah.
Well, nothing better to do. You want to scrap? And to describe this dock worker, he's half orc
Yeah.
and he is hench AF.
Yeah.
The rest of you are just stood there watching this conversation.
Hell yeah.
Can I shout from the back? Fight him!
Yeah.
Do it!
Are your friends gonna come?
You guys want to come? You can cheer me on. If I die, drinks on me.
Of course we're gonna come. If you die,
Thank
drinks
you.
on you. Oh, right. That's the spirit.
Say,
This
you're
feels
coming?
like a terrible idea, but yeah.
Alright!
Yeah.
He leads you along the dock, around the back of the harbour, to give you a visual. And I have to move you here as well. He is taking you over here. Stay there.
Right.
And congratulations, guys. You discovered your first location. Hey!
Oh,
You got an
it's number
icon on the map. It is number 7. Magician's Fight Club is what it's actually called in the list.
See, Magician's Fight Club, it actually is.
Yeah, actually, it's
There's
called
a Magician's
Fight
Fight Club. But
Yeah, so he leads you up to this
I'll make it
warehouse, and you can see inside the warehouse. The doors are open. There's like it's full of packing cases, like all the way through to the back, just totally full of shit. And there's a side door that's on a slider, and you can see down like the edge of the warehouse, and it's just the same shit, you know, just like racks all the way down. It's just a little walkway so that if there's a blockage in the center, you can still like nip down the other end, kind of thing. And this half orc, you haven't even asked the name of yet, he's just following him into a random warehouse in the middle of the dock area. Of course, with the group of people that you have, you're not really concerned about this. And he drags this sliding door shut. just walks up to it and shuts it. And he pulls the handle down, pulls it back, and it's a totally different place.
Yeah.
And he
That's
ushers
what
you
I'm
all
talking
in.
about. Nice.
Isn't his name A?
Oh yeah, his name is
Hey.
A. You're right. Yes.
Hey. Yeah.
You get the feeling that's initial, but
All right. I go in. I fucking yeah.
I don't know if you're still muted, by the way, Alpha Monkey.
No.
Talking, but nothing.
We can't hear you, even though you're not muted.
yeah, can't hear him.
Rip.
Never mind. So, nod if you can hear us.
I don't
Cool.
think you can hear us.
So then, we travelled, and we travelled across, found this warehouse, opens the door, and there's completely different space on the other side. It's very dark, kind of dingy. He reaches down and picks up a pebble, and it starts to glow brightly, and he just passes it to you, Lance, because you're right there.
Thanks.
Just so you know, you don't get lost in the dark.
All right. Got pretty good eyes, but thank you.
Well, you know, maybe one of the rest of you.
Yeah.
And sorry, that wasn't his voice at all. And then we travel down this corridor, and it's kind of long. It's longer than the warehouse.
Of course it is. Bigger on
And
the inside.
you get to a large open space. You just the corridor makes a sharp right turn, and then there's just a large room there. And there's not really anybody there. There's like a couple of people in a corner. There's two guys going at it with knives.
With knives.
With knives. Like, they're going hardcore. Like, you're seeing knives, the knives are locking, they're throwing in wrist locks. One of them does this fantastic thing where he catches the other guy's knife arm in the crook of his elbow and jumps and spins around the guy's arm while elbowing him in the face. It's super cool. And you're just looking at it like, holy crap, you know? Like, you're looking for the magic, you know, in the same way that people look for the wires. But yeah, there's an appear to be any. And then there's two other guys who just have like wrapped up hands, and they're just pounding at each other.
Yeah.
And you know, there's some serious body hits going in. One guy clocks it in the face, and then out of nowhere, the guy does a backflip and kicks him in the face, and lands on the floor. I mean, the guy lands lightly on one foot, his leg still up, and just like knee in the ready position, and it's just like. And he hears that, and he turns around, and he just nods, and then he looks again a little bit closer, and then he smiles.
Damn nice, dude.
And he
that's
walks
cool.
over.
Oh god.
This is a human, and he walks up and he says, "Ah, hey! I see you brought new people along. I suppose you've forgotten the first rule." No, I know there's no magic. The second rule. Yeah, but I mean, look at her. And the rest of them are alright as well. Well, we shall see. I certainly like the look of the big one. Any good with your fists?
Michelangelo?
He is
You're
looking
the
at
big
Michelangelo.
Yeah, I'm amazing with my fists. Just ask
Fantastic.
This man right here, point at Nephilim.
Well, I'm Magnus.
Wait. Do you know
I can see there's some history there. Perhaps after we've had a few bouts, we'll get a drink and find out. But my name is Magnus. I'm a, the proprietor of this here establishment. Welcome to Interplanetary Plane 3,
Thank you.
79493. And this is, a little space I created for us to be able to have a safe and reasonably easy to spectate area for the practicing of the art of fisticuffs without the use of magical assistance. Because we find that our philosophy is grounded in that without a healthy body, you cannot have a healthy mind. And since the mind is the muscle of magic, we must therefore not neglect the rest of our muscles. If you know what I'm saying. So, well, I mean, should we get right to it? I'd love to see how you guys do. I mean, it's all for fun, really, just like you're challenging yourself, really. But it's always nice to have a few grudge matches here and there. Perhaps you two would like a turn. And he's looking at Michelangelo and Nephilim after their sort of bout exchange. Safe area, don't worry. We've got healers on hand. I can help with that too.
Oh boy.
Well, this is something I would like to see, and I'd take a seat.
Yeah, we even have discount healing potions here. For, the harder knocks. So,
That sounds pretty
you guys
good.
can choose weapons or no weapons. So what's your poison? Is it going to be bare hands, the real grudge match, or are we going to be using toys?
Why do you sound like Pegasus from Yu-Gi-Oh?
I don't know who that is.
Hello, Kaiba.
Definitely bare hand. Good old fist fight. Except
Nephilim?
for I'm huge and I'm just gonna win.
Wait, why am I in this? Huh?
It was a grudge match between you and Michelangelo. He's looking at you expectantly.
Wait, that's what's happened?
Well, I mean... yeah, there was a
Yeah,
barbed
it's a
comment.
rematch,
But
man.
it's a rematch, yeah. He's like, safe circumstances. It's going to be a blast.
Yeah, I sit down next to Rob and
Fine.
drink.
You don't have to. No pressure. Everybody has their own level of engagement, you know?
I'll use my rapier.
Oh, weapons it is. Oh, feel free, big boy. Pick up a toy.
You're literally Kaiba. You're literally Pegasus. This is so weird.
Hey, Lance,
So
want to make a bet?
Right.
I'll put piece of silver on the big boy.
Oh, yeah, I know. I side with Nephilim.
All right.
Wait, I'll come back to this.
So, Michelangelo, you using a weapon? There's a whole rack of them at the side. You can pick anything you're proficient with and use it.
Okay, let's see. I don't think I'm proficient in any weapons, really.
You are proficient in weapons. You're a fucking cleric, dude. You're
Well,
proficient in all simple weapons.
all simple weapons.
All of them.
So
I
you
got
could
nobility.
you could use a club, dagger, great club, hand axe, javelin, light hammer, mace, quarterstaff, sickle, spear, crossbow, light, dart, shortbow, sling.
I could use all of these.
Any of those. Or you can
Uh,
just use your fists.
Don't know, fists against rapier. It's a little unfair.
It's also like 8 foot versus like 5 foot.
Yeah, but you could just poke me a few times. And then I
There are
can't use
also
magic.
there are also a couple of shields there, so you can pick up a shield if you don't have one. I can't remember if you have a shield. Oh, you do have a shield, so you can use your shield as well.
Shield bash him.
You need a feat for that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Mm.
I don't know why we're doing this.
In the meantime, while Michelangelo's standing there in front of deciding what he wants, I'm gonna get me and Rovan and also A and Magnus if I can find anything.
Sorry, what was the question?
Do they have like a bar in here too?
Oh yeah, there's a bar.
Yeah.
There's a
I'm
bar
gonna
on the
get
side.
something to drink.
Yeah, sure. You can retrieve 2 drinks.
Can you
There's,
give me some rum
Yeah.
too before?
I wanna get 4.
Yeah, there's a large variety of drinks. There's no barman.
Can you?
It appears to be open bar.
Right. I'll
Can you
take
grab-
some.
Can you grab me one? This is gonna hurt.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah,
So-
I grabbed 6 strings.
Michelangelo, have you picked your weapon yet?
I will take a quarterstaff.
Okay. I mean, you have a quarterstaff. You could just use yours.
Yeah, I'll just use mine.
Okay. So you can only use it one-handed if you're using your shield as well, but you can put down your shield and use it two-handed for the D8 damage if you want.
Hmm.
But then your
Oh.
AC goes down by 2.
I'll use a shield as well.
Okay, shield and quarterstaff. So Michelangelo assumes the ready position.
No
With
magic,
his.
right?
No magic.
Sick. Alright, fine. Let's do this.
Oh, finally we're ready. I see. I saw you attempted, big boy, but it seems like you've brought your own. So carry on then. Oh, sorry. 3, 2, 1, fight.
Are we rolling for initiative? Rolling for.
Yeah, roll for initiative,
Turn over.
guys.
I'm handing drinks out to A, to Magnus, to Rovan, and myself.
No, I don't want anything, so I would like to fight you sober.
Dirty 20 initiative.
Ah, fine.
So, with dirty 20.
Yeah.
Okay, and Michelangelo?
Initiative. Where's
Roll
Next to armor
initiative!
next to what? Sorry, armor class. 15. So
I
I'm
rogue
second.
better when I'm smashed, alright? So, Nephilim goes first.
Cool.
You are 10 feet apart. On a sort of
You just rolled up your sleeves.
on a mat of some kind.
Okay.
On a map.
Yeah, just like it's just like a padded surface. It's like a big hexagon.
I'm gonna take a step back and then shoot a short bow shot
Mhm.
at him. Wait, am I allowed to? Yeah.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was gonna say Okay, so it doesn't matter. I'm not allowed. I'm not confined to like one weapon.
No.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna.
You've got your
shoot my
equipment there.
short bow. Don't I have like a specific thing with my short bow actually? Fuck, where is it? But like sharpshooter or whatever it was. You know what I'm on about?
Did you take a feat?
Oh,
Pretty sure.
You do not
This
have a
is the
feat.
time to know all your stuff.
How do I do that?
Well, you did. I leveled you up. That's why. Yeah, did you want to take sharpshooter?
Yeah, I remember talking to you boys about it.
Okay, cool. We'll switch that. Wait, what? I'm confused. 1 second. Apparently I stopped content sharing with this campaign? That was weird. Alright. So... It's not letting me pick a feat for you. That's super weird. Okay, well we know that you have sharpshooter then, so...
It's like I roll with disadvantage or some shit, right? I don't actually remember how it works.
No, that was when you were under the curse.
Okay.
When you were under the
So-
curse, you had to roll disadvantage with every weapon that wasn't the rapier.
So how does sharpshooter work then?
So sharpshooter, you take a -5, and then you get plus 10 damage.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try sharpshooter.
Okay, so roll your attack. And
Roll.
that'll be it'll just be a straight roll for you because the -5 cancels out your +5 mod.
To see if it hits, right?
Yeah.
19.
Ooh.
Will 19
No.
hit you, Michelangelo?
Yes.
Okay, so
Oh,
roll-
actually, wait. You know how we were crafting that cloak?
yeah.
Did I ever get a chance to actually equip it?
I don't know. Did you equip it?
I would like to have equipped it. I don't
Okay.
actually know what that does to my armor, though.
+1.
I mean that's true. He would have had it, so it's a relevant thing to bring up right now. Okay, yeah. Well, I'll just add it to your inventory real quick, and then it'll do it automatically.
Okay.
What cloak is this?
Cloak of protection.
So there you go. Your armor class is now 16. Still
Okay,
misses
So
though.
it's still
It still hits you. Sorry.
still
So-
hits.
So how much damage am I rolling?
So you're rolling 1d6 plus 2 plus 5 plus 10. Sorry.
Roll 1d6 plus 2 plus what? 10. What?
Mhm.
1d6 plus 12.
1 plus 12, so 13 damage.
13 damage. Can I use? Oh, actually, oh no, I've used it already. I was gonna say stone endurance. Try and like reduce the damage, but no. All right, I just have to take it.
Okay, you take the damage. So do you have a bonus action if you want to do anything? Although all you can really do is dash in this situation, I would say. You certainly can't hide from him. So.
You can check my deception. No, I'm kidding. Or stealth. My stealth is
Okay.
like +6.
Yeah. If you have anything in your inventory that you.
I'll dash like. I'll like sidestep basically.
Oh, yeah, just
To the
sidestep
right.
a little bit. Sure. Okay, so Michelangelo, it's your turn. He's 15 feet away from you.
Is that out of range of his weapon?
It's
Oh,
5 foot
15
range.
foot.
He has to move up. He has to move. But I mean, he can move 10 feet pretty easily.
Yeah, can I get close to him?
Mm-hmm.
And I will melee him with my quarterstaff.
I'll.
So, Nephilim, you step back and you fire an arrow directly at Michelangelo, who tries to get his shield up but doesn't quite manage to in time. And his arrow slams into his shoulder of his shield arm. It just slams into it, and it's just sticking out there. And Michelangelo kind of just looks at it and then walks towards you. And he's just holding his shield up. He just starts to raise a stick. And he just walks in and just swings it down. Make your attack roll.
Could I use my
It's-
uncanny dodge?
You can.
Is there a limit on those?
It uses your reaction, so every time your turn comes around, you get your reaction back.
Okay, then yeah, I'll use my uncanny dodge.
So what does that do? Does it just allow him to?
Halves the damage.
Oh, that's pathetic. I rolled a 1. So plus
So, you rolled a 1 though.
yeah.
What? You rolled a 1. So you're walking forwards.
Oh wait, oh sorry. I have to roll to see if it hits. Sorry, no. I was rolling damage.
Yeah. You have to roll.
Yeah,
you have to
okay,
roll
yeah,
to see if
yeah,
it
yeah.
hits. I thought you rolled
Okay.
a 1
That
to
was
see if it
damage.
hits.
That was damage. That was.
Swings the quarterstaff, hits himself in the head.
I'm gonna miss anyway. I rolled 11.
11. Okay, yeah. So it's just a very telegraphed, very obvious attack. It's very Michelangelo.
Wait, so I
And-
didn't even have to use my reaction, right? I didn't need to.
No,
No.
you didn't need to. You just slip aside. I mean, you get it back at the end at your turn anyway.
Okay.
And then that's your.
Was that with your +6?
Yeah, that was with your plus, right, Lofty?
No. So it's what 17?
Does 17 hit you, Nephilim?
14
Yes.
armor class, so yeah.
Yep. Okay, so you do hit. So you rolled 1 for damage, then plus your what is it?
It's
Plus
plus
3.
three.
Okay,
Yeah.
so 4
So-
damage.
But I used uncanny dodge, so 2
So-
damage.
2 damage. Yeah.
Cool.
Then you get your reaction back because it's your turn.
Cool.
So he's right up in your face.
Yeah, this time I'm going to use my rapier.
Hit him in the pebbles.
You as he was advancing, you kind of hastily went with the bow and rapier. So you gonna prod him with it?
So how does
Well,
the
like-
shield work? How does the shield come into play?
But the shield
It
gives you a +2
increases
to your
your-
AC. That's why your
But
AC
if
is
you've got
16.
it equipped,
Oh, okay.
then you already have that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, you've got it already. It's fine.
Yeah.
If you click on your AC, you can see the things that make it up. So, Nephilim, you rolling an attack with your rapier?
That means I have to roll.
Yes, it
Yes.
does. That's how that works. I've been waiting for the roll.
19 plus. Is it the? What's the modifier? It doesn't matter. It's gonna hit, right? 19.
So,
Get him.
Roll
I got
damage.
my money on you.
where's my money, man?
Where's my money?
Alright, and now
Give
I
me
roll
my
damage,
money.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm a 1d8 plus 4.
Wait, +4?
Yeah, Rapier Vengeance.
Yep, yep. No, it's +3.
It says plus 4 on my screen.
Refresh your page. That's because you had stats that I gave you instead of the feat.
Fuck. 2 plus 3, so 5. It's 5 damage.
Yeah, you lost 1 point off this attack, but you gained 10 on the previous one. So
Yeah, it's busted. Not fair. Alright.
So what? That hit for 5?
5 damage.
Yep.
How you
Okay.
guys looking?
I'm on 21 hit points.
I'm
Okay.
good on 24. Did I? Because I was on like not max HP. I'm assuming that I
No, you
didn't-
were on max HP. You were on max.
You
HP.
Okay.
definitely were.
So how? Wait, let me heal.
Because we had like a
Did we
14-day
have-
journey until we got
So-
there. So.
Yeah, it's been
Was that-
16 days since that fight.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I would have rested then.
Yeah. Well, in 16 days, I mean, I fucking hope
maybe.
so.
So Lofty, how much did you
Oh,
hit me
rip.
for before?
Yeah.
How
okay,
many of
I
those
could've-
cloaks
I
did
could have
you...
used that stone endurance then. Oh, this feels bad. Oh well.
You still can.
How much did Lofty hit me for? Was it 4? No, 2. It was 2.
2, yeah.
Lol.
So if I was to use the stone endurance, can I roll for that then? For the first attack?
What?
Because like
I mean, you did.
like
you,
my I
you
didn't-
did call it at the time, and you thought you couldn't do it because you didn't have because it was ticked on your sheet. I did see that, so I will let you do that. Yes,
Okay.
but only
So-
because we went and retconned which feat Rams had.
Okay, so what? I roll a d12 and add 2.
Okay.
Wrath.
Oh, 12 plus 2, 14.
That was like, how much damage did you do on the first hit? Was
what
2.
did I?
And this is halved, right? Oh, wait. Oh, is this?
So what?
Wait,
I
I'm so
just
confused. What does?
So
what's
this was
happening?
the attack that you first made against him, the sharpshooter one, which had the +10
Right.
damage. How much damage was that altogether? Do you remember?
12?
12.
No, it was plus 12, wasn't it? So it was
Yeah, it was +12. What did you roll?
13. I rolled a 1.
Okay, so 13 points of damage. So none of that damage hit.
Sick.
So he really did just look at that arrow in his shoulder and just ignore it, like, yeah. I'm big. My name's Michelangelo. Hello. I'm gonna
So-
touch you now with my big stick.
okay. Okay, so altogether I've taken 5 hit points.
Yeah,
then.
5 hit points of damage.
So I'm on.
And Nephilim, you've
33.
taken 2, so you're on 31.
Okay. Okay.
Everyone
Alright.
happy? Everyone good?
Yeah.
Everyone in the
Okay.
right
Okay.
place?
We're good.
Alright.
Okay. So
Gucci.
it's my turn again.
Is that stone thing, like, is that a one-off?
It's once. Yeah, I can only
Yeah.
do it once per short rest.
Your turn. Oh, actually,
Uh,
I moved
Yeah,
slightly away again.
the tone of fear in Rams's voice there is it's like, could you just keep doing that? No!
I'll step away again. I'll use, like,
Can
all
I-
my movement to move backwards.
Okay, yeah, you can
Can
bonus
I
action
take an oppor-
disengage.
Can I take an opportunity attack?
He has a bonus action, he can use it to disengage, so
Oh, okay. So no opportunity attack.
yeah. Because he wasn't going to use it for anything else. So,
So how far away are you now?
he can't move further than you can in a round, so I assume that you guys are just kind of cycling each other on the map.
Okay, so I'm just constantly
Trying to get in
approaching
there.
it.
Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah,
mean, he's
okay,
slippery
okay.
and you're big. What did you think this
Yeah,
fight was going
yeah,
to be?
Alright, I don't have any other fucking melee attacks. I could just whack with my staff and that's about it. Alright,
I mean,
so...
you, the magic user, went into a no
Has-
magic fight.
Yeah. So it's like, let me beat you down with
Just
my
be glad
big
he isn't
stick.
able to get a sneak attack on you.
Okay, I'm
If
gonna
you were
roll
fighting a
to-
swashbuckler rogue right now, you'd be so fucked.
Yup.
I'm going to roll to see if I can hit him.
Okay.
I rolled an 8, so it misses.
Yeah,
Cool.
it misses. So Michelangelo just bears down on you again, and you just dodge the exact same way that you did the first time, and that worked. It's your
Like-
turn.
Okay. So let's say he misses. I want to like, can I have like sidestepped it or something?
Sure.
Could I then use my bow again and like go for another sharpshooter while he's like, Like a quick
You
shot.
would have to get further away from him, otherwise it would be disadvantage.
how much further away do I have to be? Like,
Further, far enough away that you can take an opportunity attack, so you would have to bonus action disengage.
let's see.
But you can
Um,
bonus action disengage and then shoot with your bow afterwards. You can do that. You don't have to do
Yeah.
your action or bonus action in a particular order.
Sure, I'll do that then.
Okay, so he slips out from underneath your quarterstaff, and as you try to track him with your stick to like try and hit him again, he's gone. Where'd he go? And then he's further away, and he's got his bow in his hand. You're like, ah, shit.
Here we go again.
So roll d20, yeah?
Yeah, roll a d20 for your attack.
13.
13. Were you sharpshootering this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's 13 with the sharpshooter. Okay, so
Wait, what do you mean with the shot? Well, I'm confused. Do I get a
So
plus?
if you didn't do it with sharpshooter, it'd be 13 plus whatever your
plus 5.
yeah.
But if you did it with the sharpshooter, the plus 5 is cancelled out by the sharpshooter minus 5.
Oh, I see.
This is a choice. You choose to
get
make
it.
it. But you have to choose in advance. So we'll assume that you were going sharpshooter because you wanted the plus 10
Yeah,
damage. Yeah,
that's fine.
so you missed.
Okay.
It goes wide. Lofty, you just well, it was going to go wide, but you hit it with your shield as it went past for good measure anyway.
Bonk.
Bling!
All right, I'm running him down. Running him down, mate.
Michelangelo stops walking and charges when bears attack.
Oh, I rolled a 12.
You rolled a 12. All right,
Oh boy.
with the quarter staff, yeah. So
Oh wait, am I supposed to add? No, that's.
Oh no.
Is it plus 6 every time to whatever my to like the D20 roll?
Yes.
yes,
Okay.
yes. Your quarter staff has a plus 6 modifier. You roll a d20 and you add the hit plus 6.
So
To
it's
it.
plus 6 every. Okay.
Hello and welcome to We Are Trying to Play D&D.
This is only our what 6th session, guys. It's fine.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
I've not tried to.
25
Okay.
hours. How do
I
you
should
think
have
you
enough
take rolls?
experience, but I'm a retard. Okay, so that's 18.
18. Does 18 hit? You hit him with your stick.
All right, let's roll damage.
I
No.
wanna dodge. Not dodge.
Uncanny
Oh,
dodge. Yeah.
half damage. All
Yeah.
right.
It's like fighting a barbarian, man. Just live with it.
So I just get,
Uh,
I get like almost, unless I use my reaction, I get unlimited.
Unless you
Okay,
use your
this-
reaction for an opportunity attack.
That's 8 damage, so it's half,
Four.
right?
4 damage.
You know, it's fine.
Just gonna keep
gonna be a
poking you
long-ass
with my
battle.
stick. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Well, no, if you can hit that sharpshooter, then you
I'm
can
gonna
shoot
use
me.
my rapier.
So
Okay, you're gonna use your rapier this time?
Is there a way I can like, kind of try and jump behind him?
Sure.
But it doesn't actually. That doesn't do anything. But...
No.
Well, I'm gonna
But
do
it is
anyway.
cool. Yeah, it's cool. So
I'm thinking of like
Flavor.
the combat scenario. You know?
yeah. You
Jump
slip
behind
behind him and,
And then try and stab him like in his hair.
Okay, yeah, try and get the trap. Nice.
Yeah.
Trap attack. So you get it. So Nephilim slips behind you, goes to get a step ladder, climbs up so you can get in the shot. Michelangelo's really tall, man. I think you're gonna
Yeah,
have
but
to
I
live
have
with the
really
midriff.
good athletics.
You're gonna run up his back. All right, that's good. Make your attack roll.
It's 12.
12 is your attack roll.
Did you add
With the
plus?
rapier.
Yeah,
Is that with
so
your plus?
6 plus 6.
Oh
Okay.
my god, dude.
So you slip round behind him, and then you're like, I'm gonna go for the trap, and then you're like, it's really high, so you try to like bounce off his leg to get up there to give it a stab. You're not able to do that. Like it's ineffectual. Slides off him. Michelangelo.
My
I
turn. I want
disengage
to.
as well, by the
Oh,
way.
you're gonna disengage and back off? Okay, sure.
Cool. All right. That's once again 12 plus 6, 18. So I
18
hit
to
him.
hit. So
Oh, dodge.
as you land, you have to take this like really weird, awkward hopping steps to try and get out of the way of this quarterstaff, which is dealing how much damage?
7.
7.
That's halved, right?
So as
3 or 4?
as Michelangelo turns, it'll be 3. We round down. So as Michelangelo turns, he just kind of goes for a golf swing with the quarterstaff. Just like a one-handed hockey shot. And you sort of have to do this weird hopping skip, and it like catches you a glancing blow on the ankle, and it kind of hurts when you land.
Cool.
Does he land on his feet or
Sure.
on his back?
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
I'm gonna attack with my rapier again.
He uncannily dodged. I think that means he landed on his feet. It was
Mad.
uncanny.
Like trip him up, but he does like a backflip and lands
Yeah,
on his feet.
basically what he did. Yeah, he used his reaction to do a backflip. The cannon. That's what happened. So,
I
Nephilim.
rolled with my rapier. I rolled 19 plus 6.
25.
Yep, that is.
It
That
hits.
hits?
Oh my
No.
God, I was really worried.
Mm.
2 plus 3, so another 5.
5.
5 points
Right.
of damage. Michelangelo, how are you looking,
And
my dude?
disengage, of course.
I'm at 28.
28.
Oh.
Alright.
What about you, Nephilim?
24.
Okay, I'm gonna
Alright.
keep beating you down. Okay, roll again to hit. 16 plus 6. Hits.
22. Alright, roll damage.
I'm gonna dodge.
That's
Can we just assume I
5.
dodge all of these? 'Cause
Yeah,
it
I'm
makes
assuming
sense.
that, yeah.
Okay.
How much did you hit, Phil?
5.
5.
So
2
so-
damage to Nephilim.
I just poke you this time.
Oh yeah, so it's just the extended poke, and you kind of like do that, like the thing that you always try to
Oh, wait,
do
one
in
second,
dodgeball.
someone's at the door,
Oh,
someone's at
okay.
the door.
This is so retarded. It's like
The most
super
boring
guy
fight of all
weaving around
times.
over, and I'm just like
Oh,
poking
God.
him. Just
You're
stop
playing.
running around playing whack-a-mole.
No, you're not. You're playing Whack-A-Rogue.
Whack-a-rogue. He's annoyingly hard to hit. I kind of want to throw my shield away so I can deal more damage.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So, oh, the fact that he can half damage on every turn is annoying.
Yeah, get fucked. Alright, I'm gonna use my rapier again.
Okay,
Let me roll that 1d20.
Whack-A-Rogue. Stab a cleric.
18 plus 6, 24.
Yeah.
Now we roll damage. 1d8. 8 plus
3.
3. 11.
11 points of damage.
Ooh,
That's a big one.
Big hit.
that's a big one.
That is a big hit.
I hit him.
And at that point, Magnus steps forward.
I think we
There's-
have a winner.
Alright, I believe we have a winner. That's not his voice at all.
He was.
Oh my!
He's big as a
Oh,
sword.
he's Christ, what a big
Seems
boy.
we have a
winner.
Oh, it seems we have a winner. The big boy couldn't quite cut his stuff in this little game of Whack-A-Rogue. Oh, the patent pending. I'm gonna try and trademark that one.
rub ourselves in oil.
So, who's next? Lance, it seems that you two are looking fisticuffs at each other.
Yeah. I'm ready to go, man.
Ready to go.
Yeah, I wanna do this.
Wonderful. Now remember the rules: no magic and no talking about Fight Club.
Yeah, got that. Magic is like the arcane
Any
stuff
kind,
that you.
yeah, any kind of magical effect, like if we see any like fire or lightning or acid, or you
right,
start moving
okay.
abnormally fast, that's all a disqualification. And believe me, I can tell.
Right. So, but like
Can-
only if I
can I-
actually hurt someone, or
Can
like I
I,
can't really control it. You know, it's not a choice I make. So like if someone
I'm
hits
not
me
really
really
sure
hard, I
what
get
you're
kinda
getting at.
There's
Is this a visual effect or what's the deal?
yeah, like you can see it, but it doesn't.
Oh yeah, I mean
Hurt him.
cosmetic decoration, not a problem.
Oh yeah, perfect, great, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Can I sportsmanship fucking Nephilim?
You want a
take my-
sportsmanship?
Fucking Nephilim.
It,
What?
you want a sportsmanship fucking Nephilim? Okay, so it's like good game. Wanna fuck?
Well, he already knows about his fists, I heard. So
Wow, straight in with the fisting. I think Michelangelo's fist might be too large.
yeah, probably. I turn to Robin and I say, "Yo, I get 1 silver from you." I want-
You do.
Yeah, I do. Oh,
Right,
I
and
like
we fighting or what? And
Yeah,
you look
we are.
round and you see A is stood there and he's just kind of casually spinning a quarterstaff and he looks pretty comfortable spinning that quarterstaff.
Nice. I take my trident.
You
and
take
I
your
join
trident.
him.
Alright.
And I'm like, let's do
Cheers.
this, man.
Are you ready to go?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
You know, just for
Alright.
you, I'll pull out my backup d20, so I have 1 physical dice to roll for this whole day.
Wow. I'm so honored.
I haven't had to roll anything yet, it's been great. It's exploration game. It's fun.
Alright. So,
So, he steps up. He's ready. As soon as you take your place on the mat, he stops spinning the staff and kind of salutes with it. Just like round the back and nod, and then starts spinning it again.
right.
You can copy that motion with your trident as well if you want. It works the same.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna not be show-offy this time. I'm just kind of
Sure.
putting my trident down and be like,
All right.
let's do this.
Roll initiative.
Yeah, I already did. I do
You
want to
already
change it
did.
again.
Okay,
Yeah,
what did you get?
I got an 18.
You got an 18. He got a 17. So,
Oh.
in fact, no. Sorry, he would have a proficiency bonus. So he would have had +2. So 19.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I guess he
I
goes
rolled a
first.
12. He has +5 dex. And you know how you noticed that this guy was hench? Now you're realizing that it's not his bulk that's scary, it's his speed. Because this stuff is weaving intricate patterns, slightly faster than you can see, and bam, it hits you in the head. That's a 16 to hit.
That just hits.
That just hits. Alright. So that's 8 points of damage.
Alright. Wait. 8 points of damage. Okay.
Yep. And then he's gonna flurry of blows you.
Of course he is.
So the staff is spinning, weaving these intricate patterns, and then you suddenly lose track of the ends of it, and one of them hits you, and that catches you off guard, and you take 2 kicks to the stomach. That's a 16 to hit,
Yeah, still hits.
and that's 8 points of damage.
Again. Oh god.
And that's the second kick is a 10 to hit.
That doesn't hit.
That doesn't hit. So
Nah.
you the staff catches you in the face, the foot kicks you in the stomach, the second foot comes in, and you're able to just get an arm down and bat that away. And now it's your
you're
turn.
fast. Alright, with my bonus action I want to rage.
All right. lightning crackles around you, and he looks taken aback. And
Just-
you hear Magnus's voice go, "As long as it's just visual."
Yeah, just decorative. And I want to hit him with my big ass trident.
All right, you hit him with your big ass trident.
Oh yeah.
Something tells me
That's a
we're
12
gonna get
to hit.
disqualified.
So that's
That's a 12 to hit.
a 12 to hit. Oh, hang on. I just gotta. Yeah, no, that doesn't hit.
Yeah, I bet. And
Sorry.
since I can attack twice per action now, yeah, level 5.
Yeah,
I
I forgot about
again.
that.
I want to
Okay.
do it again.
Yeah.
That's even worse. Even worse.
And he's just.
Fuck!
The staff never stops spinning or comes into contact with your trident while that's happening as well. It's just this constant blur of motion. It's really off-putting that he doesn't stop moving it.
Stop! I can't. Oh my god!
You've never seen somebody use both ends of a staff quite so intricately, you know.
Smooth.
So he takes another shot at you. 10.
Doesn't it?
You're finally starting to make sense of the patterns, and you see the attack coming from underneath the bottom right as it swings up across your chin. You just lean back. And you lean back, which is unfortunate because he's now spinning around you and his knee comes up into the back of your head.
Oh no!
Which deals 6 points of damage.
So 3 points of damage. So it's halved.
And his second attack on his flurry of blows is a natural 20.
Fuck.
So you lean back past the stuff and you're like, yeah, I dodged his attack! And you get kneed in the back of the head, which really takes you by surprise. And then suddenly he's on top of you and both feet just hit your chest.
Jesus, this
Ow.
guy's a machine.
That was really funny because I rolled the natural 20 and then for some reason I rolled my d20 again and got another natural 20. So I guess you dodged a bullet on that one. However, that
I guess so.
is 11 points of damage. As you
so half
slam
two
into the
hits.
ground.
Ow! Fuck.
So you're able to roll up back onto your feet. You're not considered prone, but
Yeah,
that hurt.
it did. I'm real angry too. I wanna
No, the rage is just this blue tint has covered your vision.
I wanna go up.
All the
and-
colours are washing out. Everything's starting to get very narrow and focused.
I'm attacking you with my trident, but I'm gonna do it
Sorry, you're gonna do it?
reckless.
Oh, all right
Like, I
then.
wanna hit him. Yeah, that's oh my god, it's everything is new. 23 to hit.
23 will hit. Yeah.
That's good. Oh, 7 plus 4 is 11 points of damage.
Nice. You finally catch him with the trident, and it just enters into his side. And he's as the staff rattles off the trident, and it stops his motion for a second. You have a second
Yeah.
attack.
Ooh.
So, wait, I'm trying to find out how they I can't find it.
What do you mean?
You
Reckless
make
is
the
that you have
first attack giving you advantage on melee attack.
for the
This
rest
is
of the
correct.
turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Then I'm gonna do this great weapon master too.
Ooh.
We'll see. That's a 17 to hit.
Total?
Yeah.
Just misses.
Ah, fuck. Oh,
He
well.
twists off the prongs of your trident as you withdraw it and is able to roll underneath your swing as you try to spear him with it again.
Damn.
And
Okay.
he springs back up. And that's a 22 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Yeah, so he
I-
spins and like ducks underneath your trident as you try to spear him with it as he's spinning away, and he goes into this roll and basically springs off his hands with his staff in, bringing it over, like tucks his feet back underneath, so he's actually diving at you with staff first. 22 to hit, and that's a 10 points of damage, half to 5.
Alright. Yeah.
And
Ow.
he then hits you with a kick, which is 17 to hit.
That
Sorry,
also
19
hits.
to hit.
Still hits.
And that's 5 points.
Wow.
Sorry, 7 points of damage.
This is very a pain in the ass to do.
All right. Right. Gonna do it again. Still
Okay.
reckless.
Yeah.
And still.
Oh shit, you had
great
advantage
weapon
on those attacks. Let me just crit fish real quick.
master. Oh damn! Too late, dude. You forgot. No, it's fine. Roll.
Let me just
roll.
one.
I did.
Roll
I did.
C.
It didn't happen.
No 20. Good.
There was a miss that I got out of the way though.
25 to hit.
25 will hit. Yeah.
Yeah. Did I say with Great Weapon Master or was I
You did not say, but I'll let you.
Okay, that's good.
No, I'll
That's
let you
okay.
have it. You can have it if you want it.
Whatever you say.
Yeah, you can have it.
7, 4, 11, so 21 damage?
21 points of damage.
Yeah.
So,
Damn.
he's spun up. He's flipped off the ground and come flying through the air, tucking his legs back out from behind him. Hits you in the head with the spear, with his quarterstaff, sorry. And as he uses that momentum to like get his feet back underneath him, and falls backwards, kicking you in the chest as he fell. And you just take the kick and just spear downwards. And you hear, okay, that's enough. Oh my, wow. What is your name, my blue-skinned friend? You're very entertaining to watch.
Oh my.
I kind of calm down a little bit.
Yeah, you let the rage slide away.
I let the rage fade. I'm Lance, and that was really good hits in the beginning. Ow, damn. Oh, that hurt.
And he reaches down and it starts pouring a potion into the guy's mouth.
Are you okay, eh?
Yo.
He is impaled to the floor right now. You just kind of like remove your trident, like,
Sorry.
whoops! I thought we were playing.
Kind of lose control sometimes if you hit me too hard. I'm really sorry.
He's unconscious.
Oh,
Can I get some
He
of
was
those
a level.
potions?
He was a level 3 monk. Like he was getting some good hits in, but
yeah, he hit everything. Damn.
I mean, level 3
Almost.
monk with a +5 mod. That's
Yeah.
So
Those monks,
I've
right?
played that monk and it's a lot of fun.
Does this mic work now? Does this sound okay?
Oh
It-
my,
it's
that-
very loud. Turn your gain down on the mic.
Oh,
On the mic.
Oh my god.
Ah, jeez.
This is a.
Now it's too
That's
quiet.
Too much down.
Wait, hold on. Is it?
Yeah.
if I
Oh,
turn it this way, is this the?
Oh.
Oh my
I think you're
goodness.
just way too close to it too.
Uh,
I mean, I'm just trying to figure it out.
yeah, maybe another
Dude.
time would be better.
Oh,
No.
sorry.
Like, wait like an hour and 20 minutes. We'll have finished playing. You can figure it out to your heart's content. But let's explore the damn city. Currently, you guys are in a warehouse, and you're not even on the right plane. Come on.
We're just
All right.
fighting for the sake of it.
My oh my, that was really very impressive. Poor A's not
Thank
going to
you.
know what hit him, except he'll know it's just your giant fucking trident. So, my dear, what is your name?
I'm Lance.
Oh, that's a fantastic name, because that trident is about as big as a lance.
Yeah. Well, Lance for short, but yeah.
I assure you that lances are not short. Look, there's 2 stuck up in the corner for when we joust. And you look, and there's 2 lances in the corner for when they joust.
Oh yeah. I meant my name is Lance for short, but
Oh,
Right.
what is your full name, my dear?
it's Lance Lucen, but like
Lance
Lance is
Luthen.
fine. Lance is fine. Yeah.
Ah, no, I like
Lance
Lance Luthen much better. You can really take your time saying that name, and I find it so important to get, all of the pleasure of every little moment of our lives out, and if that means your name is wonderful to say, much like the word million. You ever tried to say million? Just say million for me. Go on, listen. Million. Just feels so nice on the tongue, don't you think? Much like your name, Lance Luthen. Yes. That's that little on the end. I think it's the words with that, like million, Lanceluthen. Yeah, I could think of many words like this. I shall make a note for later. And he Pulls out a little notebook and makes a little note.
All right. So this was fun. That was great. You guys
Yes.
open all the time, or?
Oh yes, I'm always here. Always here.
Cool.
Can I get a health potion?
Oh certainly, yes, yes. 30 gold.
God damn it.
Oh, that's a good price.
Ah,
Is
the
it-
lady knows her stuff. Yes, it's discount rate, discount rate. I make them myself.
Oh,
Oh.
nice. That's pretty cool.
Thought about it and I can heal myself.
Oh, well, if you can heal yourself, why are you buying a healing potion then? That
Oh, I
seems
thought it was
unnecessary.
free.
No!
So when you don't
no,
have
no,
any spell
no.
slots anymore.
What do you mean? We rested.
What's
And
a
I didn't use
spell
any.
slot?
What?
What's a
You know
spell
when
slot?
something
I suppose that's quite a good
clicks
way
in
of...
your head and then you can cast it because it's like everything is slotting into place. That's
Oh,
yeah,
you
just-
understand how
An
magic
impression my
works. So
mother
you
used a lot,
are you a
so-
caster yourself? Oh.
No, no, no.
Ah.
No, I don't understand the arcane
Yes, no,
It's
I
more
get,
of a-
I understand
more
now.
of a
Yes,
trident
I understand.
person
Yes,
myself.
yes, okay.
I'm
Well.
a trident person.
I have to say, your electricity was rather shocking.
Yeah, it
Oh
didn't
my.
even do that much this time.
Does it normally do more?
Sometimes zaps people.
Oh,
A bit. I've heard.
well, that sounds fantastic. But,
Yeah.
well, you know,
Oh,
we're
good
always
job.
here. If you want another bout, maybe it's a bit soon after the last one for you to go again. But also, you look like you could take it. I could rustle you up a little opponent, or maybe we could go. See what happens there.
Oh, maybe next time. I think.
I wish this shit was real.
It is real, Lofty. It is real.
It is real now. That's why you like
Alright.
fanfiction.
That is indeed. I'd be
It's
very
amazing.
interested to read yours when you get round to it, Shelley.
My what? Which
Fan
one?
fiction of this.
Oh, this! Oh my god.
So,
It's been a long time since I've written fanfiction.
really? 3 days is a long time now?
No, I think the last time was actually 2012. So,
Nice.
a long time.
That's almost reformed.
It's almost real.
Yo, what does that mean?
Means you're almost reformed. I don't understand how you didn't understand.
You're almost.
Anyway,
Do we wanna
moving
buy-
swiftly on from that before I insult
healing
somebody I'm going to see
potion?
tomorrow. Sorry?
Before I kill you tomorrow?
Yes,
What?
that's what I said.
With lightning.
with
No, with badly
lightning.
mixed drinks.
Or that. Or, you know, plastic forks into your back or whatever.
Please
Uh-huh.
no. Although that would be highly entertaining.
Run you over with my car. No.
You just wait for the magic show, you're going to lose your shit.
I got a baby.
There is a
I-
magic show tomorrow. It's going to be great.
I don't know why, like, at first I was like, why the fuck is there a magic show? And then I was like,
Of course there's a magic show. Yeah, of course there is.
one. What kind of question is that? Do we want to buy a healing potion from the money that we got from the Life's Gambit shipwreck?
That's up to you guys.
Is the question.
I don't really
Everybody's
care
gone
where
for
the money
romance.
came from.
That was an out of game question.
Was it?
No. Well, also it's a complicated story.
Make an
like,
executive decision.
I'm gonna buy one.
Ow.
So, what are you guys doing? You buying some healing potions or you bailing? You can
I'm
always
buying
come back.
one.
You're buying
Making
one.
the most
Okay.
of that open bar.
Yeah, you get a normal healing potion, just a common healing potion. You're making the most of the bar? Are you trying to get drunk, Rovan?
I haven't been on land in a while. Haven't had a chance to drink in a while.
Oh, there was there was alcohol on that
Lot to
ship. Are you
drink on a
kidding?
ship,
Yeah, no, they
yeah.
were. Everyone was drunk all the time. It's not been a.
Yeah.
You haven't had a
wouldn't
dry
mix
spell,
with me.
mate.
They
There was
wouldn't-
more
they
alcohol on
wouldn't
that boat than water.
Well, fine. It's become a habit.
So,
So, how many healing potions did you pick up once?
I just
one?
got one from the money of party treasure stuff. He thinks because I don't
Wonderful.
have any money.
didn't you guys distribute that out to everybody?
We did distribute
Oh,
it,
we
it's just
tried to, but
party.
we didn't really. Then we suddenly wanted to could keep everything, and we didn't actually need to give them anything. So I'm not perfectly sure how much we have.
Yeah, right. We have the full
So
total.
I'm just
and we...
spending what I've written down.
Okay, so to recap then, you found on
I
the
gotta go
boat.
again.
You found on the life scan bit 3,500 copper pieces, 1,000 silver pieces, and 110 gold.
Thousands? Okay. I'm not gonna ask.
Silver, gold.
So that basically comes out to 245 gold altogether.
I have to turn off the power in my house is going down, so
Oh, the joys.
I'll join on my phone, but I won't be doing much.
Alright, no
Alright,
worries.
cool.
Okay.
All right.
Alright. How about we go explore the city then?
That sounds pretty good. The 250 gold. How many people do we have that we need to?
Technically
Wow.
5.
So 50 gold each, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, it was 245 gold altogether. So 49 gold each.
All right. And then 30 remove, and then in my equipment, manage. And why are you loading? Potion.
Alright. So, Magnus waves you off with a smile, saying, "Oh, before you go, was there anything that you wanted to know about the city? Where are you headed off next to next? I get the impression your visitors here."
Yeah, we just came into port, actually. So we're looking for a place to unwind a little. You know, have a drink,
Yeah, I mean, there's many taverns.
party a little bit.
I'd have a look around Querus Square. That's where the most touristy places are, and some of the most secretive.
Secretive?
So like,
Oh, just my little joke. People say the magician's hat is in Querus Square, but what do they know?
oh, where is it actually then?
Querus
You sound
Square.
like you know. Where?
Querus Square! Oh, I'm sure you'll pick up on it. It's hilarious, really. I don't know why more people don't know about it, but you seem perceptive. Part of the reason the magician's hat is such a rewarding place to experience is because of the journey.
Oh, all right. Well, thanks for the tip, I guess.
Oh, no worries. Let me walk you out. And he walks you out down the corridor, and there's just an open door there, and he pulls it open. Sorry, the door is closed, and he opens it, and it's outside. And oh, off you go then, off you go. Have a wonderful time. Hopefully we'll see you soon. We will have a spectated fight tomorrow night, so if you want to come back for that, there could be some money to be earned.
Ooh, who's
Yeah.
fighting?
Well, possibly you if you turn up.
Ugh.
Just our little, a little bouting night. It's usually quite a turnout. It should be good. They come from all over. If you've got any friends, bring them along. The bar won't be free then, though. You know, not during public events.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, you're
We'll
more
try
than
to
welcome, more than welcome, more than welcome. So, well, toodaloo then, as he's sliding the door shut.
Bye, Magnus.
Bye.
Don't forget about the export tax, and the door shuts.
The export tax.
It's gonna be like
Uh-oh.
20 gold per potion. Can swear.
You don't know. Oh, in fact, actually, make a history check. You've been to Imadori once or twice.
Bad. History. Six. Who? Why am I hearing myself?
No, it's fine. Lofty wasn't muted.
No, it's fine. Lofty
Oh,
was.
no, now he's unmuted again. And now he's disconnected.
Okay.
Um, so, with the, sorry, you rolled a 6. I got distracted.
Yep.
So with a 6, export tax? I mean, you're aware of tax. You're aware of the concept of tax. You're not sure you've ever paid any tax, but you're aware that tax is something that people know about and occasionally worry about and sometimes give to people. You don't know anything about an export tax.
I look at my potion and tag on where it came from.
No.
No? Well,
No, it's just
I've
in
had
like
this
a.
when I came.
It's not labeled or anything.
Perfect.
After all, rule 2: don't talk about Fight Club.
True. So they won't know I got it there.
So, Lance, you do, however, remember where Quercus Square is. And
It's right.
oh, that's the wrong screen. Ha 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 ha. You know where Quercus Square is. It's here.
Oh, where the X is.
Yes.
Now. Iki. All right, you guys. You want to get something to drink? Like, you want a little
Wow.
treasure hunt for a really cool bar, or would we just like any bar?
I'm down for a really cool bar.
You know there's bars in Quercus Square.
Yeah, but do we want to find the bar, or do we just drink?
I'm just saying that you know that there's a consolation prize.
True.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you guys walk over to the bridge, and I would like everyone to make a perception check as you come up to the bridge across the river.
Hmm. 22.
How did everyone else do?
So my passive is a min, right?
Yeah?
15 then.
Alright.
I got 18 plus 5, 23.
Okay.
Silent, can you roll for me?
Yeah, sure. Michelangelo, perception, that's a 19 for Michelangelo, because he can't roll lower than a 19.
Nice.
So, yeah, you're all very sure that there is literally nothing holding this bridge up. And it is paper thin.
It's weird.
And appears to be one piece.
Let's jump on it.
You jump on it?
Are we already on the bridge?
I mean, you're looking at the bridge. Because
Let's jump
when
on
you
it.
realize that there's nothing holding up the bridge, most people take a moment to pause and consider.
Magic.
I dare Michelangelo to jump onto the bridge.
Nah, I'm cool. I'm chilling.
You're not gonna jump
Come
on
on,
the
it's-
bridge?
It's not a big deal. I'll go do it. On the
Okay,
bridge.
make a dex saving throw.
Dex.
Saving throw.
Okay. Why do I always have the bad? Yes. 11 plus 5, 16.
Yeah, it was totally fine. I just want to make you roll.
Yeah. I knew it would be.
I'm walking
Okay,
because
you're
I've been
walking.
here before.
Yeah.
Yep, sure, no worries. And as you're walking, you're looking like to your left and right, and you can see there's boats coming down the river. And there's a large one coming down the river, really big actually.
Can
And
I
this
see the
bridge,
flag?
sorry.
Can I see the flag? Like, do I know
Uh,
where it maybe came from or close to?
Sure, make a. Let me have a look at your character sheet, because this is kind of a combination of two things. Because on the one hand, like how clearly can you see it, and on the second hand, how much do you know about what you can see? So I'll give you a perception check on it.
All right. Well, I am a sailor. Well, perception. My passive perception is 15, and I rolled way lower. 15.
You don't know. You can just about make out a crest. It
Eh.
looks like it's two ravens perched on a rock,
All right.
or they might be crows.
2 big birds.
Yeah, blackbirds. Maybe they're magpies. You can't really tell. It's like there's a
they're
little bit
big
of breeze
blackbirds.
and the
How
flag's
many,
rippling in the wind.
Birds on a rock. All right. I want that booze.
Okay. And as you're walking along the bridge, I mean, the bridge is pretty long. At like a walking pace, it takes 5 minutes or so to cross it. It's about 140 feet. And right as you're getting to like the last quarter, this big ship has kind of caught up to the bridge, and you look behind as you see the pieces as the bridge suddenly forms into pieces, and the middle pieces just kind of swing outwards and kind of orbit around the mast as it goes in and as it goes past, and then just go back into place once it's through.
Dope.
It's really fucking cool. The wave sphere wasn't big enough for that to happen. You just went underneath it, but yeah. So you continue across into the city. The architecture is very elven. Nothing that any of you haven't seen before in various cities. There's a lot of elven architecture in the world, because it really does last generally. And you find that there's it's a pretty straight shot from the harbour to Quercus Square. You just have to go along the road that the bridge is attached to, and then hang a right. There are some alleys. You could take a shortcut if you wanted, but I think you'd probably just follow the main road, right? So you're just
Probably.
ambling in and just kind of joining a flow of traffic that's just foot traffic that's moving towards. There's the occasional carts going through. Lance, from having been here before, that this is like the main road through Imadori that you're walking along right now. So it's just kind of like there's no need for an autobahn because what's going to bypass stuff, right? So, but this would be the autobahn of Imadori, going through the central traffic artery. So there's a reasonable number of carts sort of making their way through, not stopping or anything. You get to Quercus Square and it's pretty full of people. There's some outdoor seating under umbrellas with like a little mobile bar that kind of goes from table to table. There's a bunch of taverns around the outside, some inns as well, some cafes. Just like it's a service location, like there's a lot of services here, a little bit of retail, but mostly just services.
Yeah, that's nice.
Let's find the spa.
You want to look
Yeah.
for it? Make a perception check, Rovan. And you
I
looking as
wanna
well,
help.
Lance? Okay,
Yeah.
you can have advantage or you can have a separate roll. It's up to you guys.
How well are you at perception? No, that's metagaming.
I will tell
No.
you that Rovan seemed pretty fucking perceptive so far. And
Yeah, I think I'll give you advantage. Because my dice rolls are crap anyway at the moment.
That's a 23.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a moment as the crowds are kind of swarming around. There's just like this split second of just like space through the people, the mass of people, Rovan, and your eyes are just drawn straight to it, and you see a stool with a hat on it.
A stool with a hat on it, like a bar stool.
Yeah, it's got a pointy hat on it. The tips just kind of flopped over just a little bit at the top. Not like full witch style, but just like a little bit at the top. It's just a stool. It's got a hat on it.
I
They sound-
think
And then the crowds go through and it's gone.
Did you see something? Man, there's so many people.
saw a wizard's hat on a stool.
Oh well,
Looks kind of strange that it's just there. Not something you leave laying around.
That's true. That's true. Let's check it out.
I start walking towards the direction.
Okay,
that
you
I
gotta
saw
kind of
it.
like, oh, excuse me, hello, yeah, hi, thanks, because you're going like
I'm not
parallel.
that
Yeah, okay, so
polite.
out of the way, fucking move.
I've had a few drinks, like.
I was
Alright.
kind of trailing
This
behind,
Larry
but-
Wood Elf is kind of muscling through the crowd. This like blue-skinned giant half elf behind him. Sorry,
Sliding
excuse me.
to
So yeah, you make your way over there. There's a stool. It's got a hat on it.
Can I look around? Is there anything around it? Like, does it belong to the shop or something like that? Does it look like?
No, it's
there's
just in a
something?
corner. It's just like two buildings kind of meet, and there's like a little alleyway just off to the side. But it's just a stool. It's got a hat on it.
Is the stool just on its own? Like, it's
Yeah, it's
just
just
in
a
the
stool.
middle.
Just on the corner of the street. You know, like you know when a security guard sits in the corner of a room. Like that's the positioning of this stool. It's just in the corner. Like you could put the hat on and like sit and look at the square.
Hmm.
Oh my god, maybe that is what you do.
Hats are
Do you
made
wanna
to
try
be
it?
worn. I don't think it's that big a leap of logic.
Come on, put it on. It's probably gonna look great. You won't get lice.
Okay, sure. Why not?
Yes.
I put that hat on and I sit down.
All right, you put the hat on and you sit down on the stool, and you sit there.
Nothing.
Nothing seems to happen.
You look great.
You look around a little bit more.
Is there anything going on?
Did anything
around?
change? Can you see anything? Like, is there suddenly a doorway or something?
You want to look around and see if you can suddenly see a doorway?
Or it's anything different since I've put this hat on?
Okay, make a
Yeah.
perception check.
$23 again.
23 again. You look around, everything seems identical. You're pretty sure that everything looks exactly the same. Like, as you picked up the hat, you kind of like had a little look around, and then you put the hat on. You sat down. You had another little look around. Everything seems to be the same. And then you still just sat there, and you're starting to feel a little bit stupid. And then smoke starts to exude from the hat, and just kind of billow around and billow around and billow around and billow around and billow around until it encases Rovan. And then
Oh,
the
you're
smoke
smoking!
dissipates, and there's just a hat on the stool.
Guys, I found it! Or we lost someone. I'm not sure.
Who next?
Okay,
Who
Michelangelo
next?
puts the
Yeah.
hat on and sits on the stool. One moment.
I just
We're gonna
Well,
be
like a
so
really-
stupid, we're all gonna end up in damage and they're never gonna come out again.
The stool breaks, and Michelangelo falls on the floor.
I knew that was gonna happen. I knew that was going to happen.
I rolled a percentile dice. I was like, anything under 50, it's gonna break.
Can I mend the?
Yeah, you can mend the stool.
See, that's what I said. Sometimes mending is fucking helpful.
And as you're reaching down to the stool, the smoke starts to exude from the hat, and it encases you and the stool, and then the hat, and then the smoke dissipates, and it's just a hat and a stool, and the hat is
stool-
back on top of the stool. Stool is whole.
Awesome.
And
Never
as
let
far
it
as you could tell, Michelangelo's hand never reached the stool before the smoke kind of encased him. And
Yeah.
I'll do
You
it.
next. Yeah.
Alright. I'll stick
and
it on.
weirdly, even though Michelangelo was bigger, it seemed to be quicker that time.
I'll stick it on.
Okay.
Abracablammy. See you in Magician's hat.
Hopefully, I guess. Who knows? That's part of the adventure. You're still here. This is awkward.
No, it's just still sat there.
Just
Just still sat there. Just still sat there. And then the smoke exudes out and covers you
Oh
and
no.
disappears,
Right.
and
Oh no,
the
no,
hat
you
is on the
already got-
stool.
Well, I'm doing the same.
Turning off my camera for effect.
Okay, so Lance, you're the last one of the group that's still here.
Yeah.
You put the hat on.
Yeah.
Alright. Do you sit
Put
on
the
the
hat
stool?
on. Sit down on the stool.
Okay, you just sat on the stool wearing the hat. And
This is great.
you don't know if the smoke has started billowing out the top or not because you can't see it because the brim of the hat is in the way. And then you see this smoke start to cascade off the top of the brim, but instead of it coating you, it's just like an inch thick, and it's just kind of a strip that goes down, and underneath you can still see the ground of the square and the legs of people walking by, but above that line, you can see some kind of a fabric, like it's purple. You're not really sure. It's kind of weirdly lit. It seems dark. The smoke keeps going down. And you're like, oh yeah, no, this is definitely some kind of like a curtain. It's definitely purple. And it keeps going, and the smoke keeps going down, and then you're like looking at what appears to be a wall made of curtain.
Well, I try to touch it.
It's definitely
goes through.
curtain,
And go through.
but there's a wooden frame behind it. It doesn't appear that you can go through the curtain.
Damn. Why am I the one who has to do this? So it's just a curtain in the wooden frame.
Hmm?
Is it a door? Can I open the door?
There isn't a door
Is
behind
there
the
an
curtain.
handle or anything?
No, it's just a curtain hanging on a wooden frame.
That's
You
how
turn
it
around.
depends on how much magic you have.
And you see the opening to like the changing room style cubicle that you're in. And you're like, oh,
Oh, I get it. That's fun.
you know, it's
I'm
like
not
when
gonna
you're in
tell
an.
anyone that I would have been.
It's like when you're in an elevator and the doors behind you open and you don't realize.
Yeah. But
Uh,
nobody saw that, so haha.
And you
Yeah,
turn
we're
around
just-
and your friends are all stood there looking into the cubicle at you.
Hey! We found
Hey.
it! I
What
guess.
were you looking at? What was?
There was like something on the wall, but I think it was hair or something, but it
You're like-
just kind of bothered me, so.
You're like rubbing the wall and like pushing against it. What was
Yeah,
that
it feels real nice, the curtain though. Did you see like the
Uh.
material? I just had to touch, and then there was this hair on it. Let's go!
And you walk out and you see that there's like 7 of these cubicles scattered in like a loose semicircle.
wonderful.
Cool.
I
Where
think
are we?
I'm gonna have to head off in a
This
sec.
is where you are.
Oh, yes!
You are in a desert, it appears, and there's like this oasis, and it's like just hitting sunset, so like the light's just cascading across the land instead of down onto it, and the shadows are really interesting. The lighting's like this really like azure purple kind of desert nighttime landscape, but there's still light because the sun's still kind of up but not actually up anymore, and it's kind of poking out from behind a dune, and there's this bar down by the water that's just kind of splashing backwards and forth. There's palm trees everywhere. There's these huge kegs behind the bar, and there's just this one guy over there. He's a
I can hear her California in the background.
Can you?
No, I mean that's what it sounds like.
Oh right, yeah. No, yeah, actually, kind of that vibe actually. Yeah, like that is definitely a song that kind of
Which song? Sorry, I didn't
exudes it.
listen.
Hotel California by the Eagles.
Oh yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Very good.
So that's
like
your
this place.
that's your kind of situation right now, guys. You
Wait,
just
you
like
saw the guy.
yeah, there's a guy behind the bar. It looks like an elf from here, but you
I
can't really
see
tell.
a bar, Lance. Let's go.
Yeah.
That guy has.
Are we the only ones
face.
here?
No, all of you guys are there.
No,
Oh no,
I mean,
no,
No,
there's,
the
oh
only
sorry,
ones are the
sorry.
other Petra.
No, there's other people drinking and stuff. It's still kind of
Oh.
early though. It's like 11.
Yeah, the bartender was what? What again? Sorry.
An elf, as far as you could tell from that distance.
All right.
And he's dressed like very like stereotype wizard. Like he's playing into it, you know.
That's amazing. Does he have a pointy head?
He does not. But
damn.
his robes do match the pointy hat that you just put on.
Amazing. We go over to the bar.
Okay.
I lean over. I want to say like, you
Jaeger
lost
bombs,
your head
guys?
in one of the cubicles. Like,
Wait, what's that,
go
sorry?
for-
I want to go over to him.
hmm
I want to lean on the bar, and I'm like, you lost your head in one of the cubicles.
He turns around with this big grin, and he's got this very very gestury, very flowy kind of style, and the robes really accentuate it as well. And he goes, "Ha ha! Well, I must say, this is quite the occasion. I can see that you are quite the band of adventurers. Am I right?"
Sure.
Majad Al-Majjar, at your service. I'm so excited that you're here in my bar. You're right, I did leave my hat in the cubicle, and I'm glad I did, for it brought you here to me.
Me too. What is your
Oh,
best
sorry, I
drink
wasn't
that I
talking
can
to you.
afford?
I was talking to your friend there, and he's looking directly at Michelangelo.
Michelangelo, you're upstaging me the whole time.
I'm sorry,
Stop.
darling, I just don't go your way. But you, however, you're a big
Stealing my
boy.
thunder the whole day, Rupert.
What's it with this?
Your voice
I'm
keeps
rich
cutting
too.
out, Shelley. Your voice keeps cutting out.
This whole city is like just with man muscle.
There's a lot of man muscle going on. Like, this is Wizard Town, you know? There's a shortage of it.
There's a shortage of bicycles.
There's a shortage of biceps in Wizard Town. Yeah, that is definitely true.
Hey, male bicep.
True. True. There's no shortage of female bicep now Lance is here.
Can I ask him about the magic that was used to get us here?
Oh, yeah, I mean, you can ask him. What do you say?
Fuck.
He's saying yes.
He's like, yeah, boy.
Right.
Let's go. Bar's closed.
Bar's closed. I'm struggling to get into character right now.
That's alright.
I guess I should just explain it to him. Hello. Hey.
Hello.
That magic that you used to get us into your beautiful bar, I'm wondering if I could use that magic to transport an object, maybe?
Interesting. So, I take it you're not that au fait with magical transportation?
Yeah, I'm sorry, you cut out right there.
I take it you're not that au fait with magical transportation, then?
No, I've never
No.
used it before.
Well, you have gotten here, so now you have used it. And
That's
if
my
you've got a
first
talent
experience.
for it, then perhaps just think about how it felt, and maybe you'll explore something. Otherwise, you'd really have to, sign up for a class at the school.
Interesting. And where is this school? Pray tell.
Oh my goodness, you're hilarious. Aren't you just adorable? What ship came in to make my day so lucky? Shelly, you keep your mic is not catching your voice often enough. You might want to.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, I saw you make a mouth movement, but
I wanted to say something and then I was like, no, I'm still
you're still
jealous.
salty.
Yeah, I'm still sulking. And again,
Turns out Lance is an attention whore. It's very needy.
something new every day.
Alright. That's character development.
That
Are
it
there
is.
other people like sitting down?
Yeah, there's other people drinking. Not like a huge number. It is like, it's morning.
Yeah, but like
There's people drinking
there, like-
coffee and stuff.
description of anyone, like anyone that I think was noteworthy enough to talk to, sort of thing.
I mean, there's a variety of people. What would catch Nephilim's eye? Describe to me what Nephilim would be looking for in
All right,
somebody to make.
blonde. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, well done. You found the pub version of Tinder. They pull the curtains across on the cubicles and then it's blind date.
It's like I put on the hat and the mixing hat and Harry Potter, but for dating. I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking for. Just seeing if can I just make like a perception check?
Yeah, sure.
or
Make a
something?
perception check. Let's see who you notice.
I mean, I still want to ask more questions about
Yeah,
teleportation.
but as well, you're
Yeah,
I
you
got-
can go ahead and
Just go for
ask.
it.
21.
Okay, we'll come back to it. Michelangelo.
Yeah, the School of Magic. Please,
Oh my goodness, you're
Continue.
serious! Oh,
I'm.
oh honey. Well, I don't even know where to start.
Oh,
The idea of
honey.
somebody being an Imadori without knowing where the school is or what it is? Oh my goodness! Oh, darling. The Estia Areta Paideia. The forefront of magical knowledge on Trull. It's the counterpoint, the balancing of all of the Elvish nation just concentrated in one school of magical learning right here in the center of Imadori, magical capital of the earth. Not that we're currently technically there, but we're kind of there. That's where you came from, at least.
Where are we?
Oh, I forget the exact address. It's really annoying. They gave all the planes zip codes, and I can never remember mine. Yeah, well, you see, it got a bit messy. Everyone making pocket dimensions everywhere, a big city full of magicians. Everybody wants their own private space, Like, back in my day, a wizard just fiddled around in a little 5-story mansion or something that he put in his shed. But nowadays, everybody needs to have an Olympic-sized swimming pool, whatever the Olympics are.
Can you actually swim in that water? How far out does it
Oh,
go?
be my guest. All the way, darling, all the way.
Awesome.
And you look out and you're like, oh yeah, no, there isn't another side to that. And then you look around the dunes and you're like, oh, this is like, it's like a video game where like the level just very abruptly ends and then it's just kind of like shapeless skybox.
Yeah.
It's exactly like that.
I still want to wade into the water though.
Yeah, there's infinite water. You can just keep going.
Just have a little swim and be like, is it good water?
Yeah.
So,
It feels very dense.
Hmm.
You feel very light in it. But it also, like, as somebody who's used to being able to move quite easily, you're like, oh, this is like kind of sludgy, but it's kind of nice. Yeah, it's different. It's easy to float on.
Yeah. That's good.
you're saying is
So,
if this guy's magical bar tavern plane, and there's a immense, incredibly important school of magic that exists somewhere within the center of this
Not
That
just anywhere.
quality-
It's the giant pyramid. You can't miss it.
And would it be possible to pay to just learn that specific spell of teleportation?
Depending. Have you done any of the foundational work?
I mean, I can heal people.
And he looks you over, and he sees your holy symbol that's kind of on your shoulder. Oh, you have a sort of some kind of a god connection, I guess. Into
Yeah.
god stuff. Kinky, but I could make an exception, I guess. But
See, I ship that. You can read my fanfiction of that next.
Oh boy.
No, yeah, so now I don't want to offend you. We've only just met. Offending comes later normally. But right now, I think that realistically you might want to set your sights a little bit lower. What is it you're looking to transport? Maybe I could help you out. Maybe we could do a favor exchange. I like favors.
Oh my god.
It's gonna be of the sexual kind.
Why?
I'm never gonna leave this.
Well,
side.
I'll
what-
I-
volunteer. It should be fine. He'll do it. Just as long as you're able to help
Oh, for
transport.
fuck's sake.
What does Michelangelo say, Lofty?
Sorry.
What does Michelangelo say?
The statue. The statue's quite large and heavy,
Yep, very large, very heavy.
kind of like me. And we need to transport it pretty far. So, if you could help us out with that.
Where does
great.
it need to go?
I've forgotten the name. Help me out. I can't look at the map.
You didn't. The name of the place where it has to go. Jesus, I don't think I even remember that. Let me look at my notes.
It's the third place that the ship was going to land, but like close to that.
Oh yeah, it's
right?
close to Trunkalv, but I can't remember the name of the actual village. You did
Kalaki,
know.
whatever it's called. wasn't it?
Trunkalv. Before Trunkalv is Karastri is where the ship goes before
It's
Trunkalv.
close.
Sorry,
I don't think
Vorastri.
you've had-
So, trunk out.
Yorastri? That font really isn't helpful. Yorastri was the name of the place. Trunkalv is the closest like city to where you're going. Hang on, I've got your backstory stuff somewhere. People. Or I don't. I'll have to look it up. But you say near Trunkalv. And he goes, oh well, I mean, I might be able to help you out. Have you been there before? Oh no.
You gotta switch devices, he said. Burb.
Oh, you gotta leave soon as well? That's rough. We'll probably wrap it up pretty shortly.
Sorry
anyway.
about that. Yeah, I'm like caught in between doing stuff and.
No, it's all good. So, well, have you been there before?
No, we've just arrived here at Ameria on our travels.
Okay, well, in that case, yeah, Almeria is the continent. Amadori's
Yeah,
the
that's
city.
yeah. We
Yeah, I was
just
like
arrived
saying-
at Ameria though.
It's like coming from America and be like, I just arrived in Europe. Totally fine. Well, What I would say is that if it's near Truncav, it's probably best to just land in Truncav and then make your way from there, because local knowledge at that end probably going to be much better to be able to get you to where you need to be, if you know what I'm saying. But what I would find is, I could get you to Truncav. That wouldn't be a problem. I could just, redesignate one of the little booths over there to ping to Truncav instead of Quera Square just for like a minute, just for a friend. I could manage that if we were friends. And in order to be friends, I need to know your name. You know mine, Majad Al-Major. No, what is yours?
The sculptor. And I flex.
Oh. So, well then, Michelangelo, the sculptor. Oh, I like it. I like it a lot. I can see you've been sculpting for a while. Do you also
Well,
do
thank
masonry work, or is this just a workout conversation?
I do a bit of masonry work as well.
Very nice, very nice. Well, so Michelangelo, we would need to exchange favors for this, because, it's inconvenient for me, uses some of my power, blah blah blah, blah blah, boring bookkeeping, accounting stuff, you know how it is. So, what I would say is, perhaps if you could go and do a little object retrieval for me, a little like, run and gun, fetch, come back kind of thing. You up for a bit of run and bow?
Sorry. I wanna consult my friends here.
Oh, of course, of course. In the
So I kinda
meantime,
look over
what are
at
you
Lance
drinking?
and
It's
Robert,
on me.
And
Rum.
No, here you are. He slides a bottle of rum across the table, a couple of glasses.
Lance, we got booze. Come back. I'm assuming
coming
you're still
back.
swimming. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I'm lagging out
You got
so
booze.
much right now.
Dude, that sucks.
you're such a nice man, giving us booze.
So,
I'm
I
sure
tell
we
you
can
what.
help him out.
Why don't we leave it there? If Ramsey's going in a minute and Lofty's having trouble, and he's also the person that this conversation is happening to right now. We'll leave it at this point. Majad Al-Majah of the Magician's Hat has just offered to send your statue to Truncav, in exchange for a favor, a little object retrieval. He's interested in getting you to do. So, you guys can have a think about what that means for your group. How'd you guys find today's session? I think that's the first session without combat as well. Well, I mean, we kind of did have combat. But, you know.
Did.
We kind of did. I really liked it. I enjoyed.
You're cutting out again, Shirley.
Why? Too
Because you
loud
get
or-
too far away from your mic and then Discord goes, oh, you're not talking anymore? Oh, just turn off your
No.
mic.
Is it better now?
Yeah, way better.
All right.
What about me?
Still the worst.
Yeah, so, Rams, you and I can have a chat about that mic and how to set it up properly at a later point.
Oh yeah, I know.
Because right now you've got all of the settings wrong. All of them wrong. Like, it's pointing the wrong way. You don't have it on single direction. So.
It's a microphone.
But yeah, how'd you guys find the session? You have fun?
Yeah,
I
it's
had fun.
good. It's getting
I
better.
like that we roleplayed more, is what I said.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you guys are finally in Imadore. It's like been hanging in my brain for like 2 months or something. It's like, oh yeah, they'll
Great.
get there next week. Then we didn't have a session for a little bit. I'm like, oh, then we have a session, and it's like, oh, you didn't get there. But yeah, how'd you guys like the city?
We haven't seen that much of it yet, but I like.
I mean, you saw some scope.
Hmm.
I'm
I
so
want to get up in the
excited.
clouds.
I like the Skypod stuff.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you guys to go play in some Skypods. Oh,
I'm excited to fight again.
Rams.
Hmm?
I'm gonna write it down because you're not gonna remember to remind me, but I want you to remember to remind me that you made a 21 perception check in order to find somebody to talk to in the Magician's Hat.
It was 22, but I thought it was
Okay.
22.
It was dude. It was over 20, so you found somebody in the bar where there's nobody hiding.
Oh no, you're right. It was 21. But yeah, okay.
I thought it was, man. You really like gaslit me for a second there. And you see a sort of scrawny-looking human fella. It's like unshaven. His robes are kind of shabby, but he looks like he looks like a Rodney, you know? But he catches your eye in a way that nobody else does with that check.
Cool.
I'll slide a little bit of the insight on there. He might be useful.
And also, we're
You're
having a
used to walking
conversation.
into a bar. Sorry?
The Polonius conversation, is that still a thing, or did you summarize it to me already? Like that was
I
enough?
summarized it to you. We can have a little bit more in depth. It's up to you. Like if you want to
I'm sure we'll
initiate that
chat.
with me. Just start the conversation as Nephilim, and I'll continue as Polonius, and then we'll see what happens. Do a little
I'm
RP
sure,
chat.
like, if we're hanging in voice, I could just be like,
Oh yeah, we could do voice as well. Sure.
this is what I'm asking, and then, yeah,
Yeah.
whatever.
Find some time on Sunday or something.
Yeah, cool.
Cool.
Too late. Alright,
I
catch you
Awesome.
guys.
Well, I mean, I can hang out for a bit. I just, we'll stop running the game while everyone's having difficulty. Bye, Twitch! Forgot we're on Twitch. We're on Twitch. Hello! Bye,
Hello.
Hello,
Twitch!
Twitch. Goodbye, Twitch.